And then I will, it's yellow. And here we go, 9 o'clock. Oh, it's awesome to start right on time without screwing around. I'm all the time messing around still. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Pilots Lounge, RC Pilots Lounge, episode number 52. What's up with you? We've been doing this for a year. Where have you been? What is going on? Welcome to the channel. Tonight it's going to look a little bit different, kind of hybrid style. We've got a lot in store for you. All-star Roundup. Mary Boozer, Wesley Miller has been working behind the scenes to help me out to make this year anniversary of RC Pilots Lounge what it deserves to be tonight. So with that being said, don't expect it next week this awesome. But we're getting there too. So Wesley, thank you so much for your help. He's going to be kind of moderating tonight for me. He's going to be my Lori a little bit. So anyway, guys, welcome back. Good to see you. Again, a bunch of our friends and familiar faces are going to be in the stream tonight, popping in with me. We're going to talk to them. If you're in here, remember to thumbs it up. Share this out as well, guys. Go Facebook it, tweet it. Doesn't really make sense to say so on Instagram, but do all that stuff. James, thank you, man, very much. Thanks for coming by. We have had quite a day. There's a lot to talk about, but really the most important thing right now is that we're all here and we're all okay, and we're celebrating this year together because this show is y'all's show. It was really exciting to start this thing and really honestly have no idea at all what it was going to be, but kind of want to do interviews and things like that. And George Baker at the very beginning helped me tremendously to work that out with interviews right out of the gate. And obviously you couldn't do that every time. And then it became a thing. Well, I'm not going to miss one now. So we just have done this forever with just a comment section. And we've gone through a lot of growing pains, and there's more to come, I'm sure. But I'm so very excited that all of you have stuck this out. Like, this is a gratitude show. Like, there's so many of you that have been at like every show or almost every show. And if you're not, you're watching the flight videos, which is really the main deal anyway. But so cool to be able to connect on this weekly show. I think you guys all look forward to it just like I do. And man, Wesley, can pop in here, Wesley. Let's you, if you want to, let's just get this party started a little bit, man. Let's talk about this thing. I mean, it's really all about the community, really, and then I want to talk about today's flights and stuff like that. But
Yeah, guys.
Wesley, thanks for coming by. Good to see you, man.
Man, it's a pleasure to be here tonight. Kind of running everything in the background for you. I'm glad to be here and helping out. Getting the guys pumped. We got to show everybody off tonight. It's going to be fun. I'm jealous you got the MiG. I saw that, man. Everybody's getting the MiG right now. I want one, but just I got so much other stuff, as you can see in the background. Look at the storage.
Look at that storage.
The thing's huge.
Nice.
The F-18 smaller than one wing on it, sitting there on the floor. But man, I'm excited to be here.
Man, thanks for doing it. Like, seriously, I couldn't do this. This is a fairly ambitious one tonight. I think you guys are gonna really enjoy it. There's a lot we've kind of planned behind the scenes all week long, and really Wesley's the one to thank for this. We put our heads together, but he's the one who's executing on the back end here for me, which is just tremendous. Honestly, Wesley knows I just got off the road myself and in here about 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
So it's been nuts. We flew the MiG today. We'll talk about that stuff. Flew some new batteries with some high C ratings, which performed really well, and we'll talk about those brass tacks of the today's film shoot, I think later. But I'm just super pumped to have guests on here tonight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's definitely
Get them on
gonna be a
here
fun
and
show tonight.
oh man, get them on here and I'll shut up and just listen for a minute. and I got my glasses ready in case somebody gets me misty eyed, because you never know.
You never know. That's right. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. I see the chat is just blowing up tonight. It's gonna be
It's
a lot of
blowing
fun.
up. We got Jimmy B up in here. Look at that wingspan on the Storch, man. James Burlich is in here
Oh yeah, man. I gotta
talking
hold the
about the
F-18 up
Storch.
here in a minute and show you how big, because it kind of is deceiving in the background how big that airplane actually
Jeez
is.
Louise.
But the F-18, I mean, that's the 90 millimeter F-18 right there, and it's literally smaller than one wing.
That's right. I mean, of course. That's speaking of wingspans a little bit. The man, that MiG 48-inch wingspan. You guys can imagine how this thing behaves on the wing, like wing loading style. You see also why there's a few videos out there, and John, what is it? John VH RC,
Uh,
John HV, John HV
yeah.
RC. He, I'm afraid to touch my screen, but I gotta exit this thing off. Okay. Um, yeah, Wesley knows, dude. I'm telling you, it's tough. He had a tiny little bounce and then greased it, and I did that today as well. That plane will fly slower than you think it can, so you got to bleed off all that speed.
Yeah. I'd
Uh,
love to get one. If it flies anything like I've got the small MiG from Free Wing, and I
yes.
absolutely love it. So I could only imagine a 90 millimeter being just as locked in. Any of the guys out there that have the smaller one, I mean, it's phenomenal. So I could only imagine a big one.
I mean, there's videos out on it already, but of course, the funnest ones for me are the ones that I got to do.
Right.
So today we filmed the Maiden. I got to be honest with you. There's some, and I pointed it out, and it's going to be in the video. Like, there's some pros and cons to this thing, but none of it's a deal breaker. Maybe we'll get into that a little bit. But none of it's a deal
Right.
breaker.
Yeah.
But golly, it was so fun, dude. Maiden flight. We flew it 3 or 4 times, man. And then I flew it also with the big 5500 70C pack, which woke it up. You guys who have the MiG, it that CG they say 300 millimeters. That's pretty right on, but I would cheat it. I'd go 280. You know what I mean? Something like that. That's what I did. I maidened with the Admiral 5000 like all the way forward. And the battery strap for it, you're able to slide it up, which is kind of cool. And my rates were minimal. It was, man, I tell you, you guys, I really give you the best information I can. Like anything I discover doing it, you'll see it in the video, man. We filmed it a bunch, and it was really fun. Um, that 90 millimeter EDF is pretty impressive, by the way, on its vertical and performance, especially on a big 48-inch bird like that. I'll tell you just a couple. I really want you to watch the video, but I'll tell you just a couple things that. Can we do that now? Is that cool? We'll do that right now. We'll talk about the MiG a little bit.
Yeah,
If
yeah,
you want to bring someone in
definitely,
who's got experience with it,
definitely.
that's
I'll
fine.
get somebody set up right
Whoa! Dave's RC. Jeez
now.
Louise, man, thanks.
Yeah.
Hey, that's cool because I can get some new servos for the MiG. So we'll talk. You know what? Let's talk MiG 17 for a minute. Let's just do it. And you guys in the chat, I'll be like feeding off of you if you have any questions about it, and then we're going to get into the guests. But I just want to, that was my focus today. We had an event at the club. We went there. I've been pumped about this year show all week long. Anyway, MiG 17. Mine didn't come with a pilot. I'm going to jump into the cons first. Didn't come with a pilot. Didn't come with a manual. One of my inner gear doors was like totally curled up, and I put a lighter to it to try to straighten it out. The manual is online, so I pulled it up, and I'm looking at you have to do all the linkages. And I'm looking at the inner gear doors, and I'm not, thanks, James. Thanks, man. I'm looking at the inner gear doors, and the ball links, it looks like they're supposed to be in the aft on the linkage connection point, right? Well, that's not right, because what happens is you lose mechanical advantage. They're sequenced inner gear doors, so they open and shut when you cycle the landing gear. So they need to have the most throw possible. So you'll see it in the video. The ball links on the inner gear doors need to be as far forward as possible. That gives you mechanical advantage so the wheels clear when they're cycling. Minor thing. Again, no deal breaker. Guess who was doing a pre-flight check today just to check ailerons and everything else? Me. And when I did it, Bobby Committa was filming me early before Mike showed up. And I gave it just a little bit of elevator, and one elevator half like moved only. And then it just stayed there. And then it never would find neutral again. I was like, holy smokes, man, this servo's DOA. So MiG-17, I bought it, first batch, no pilot, no manual, DOA servo, a little bit of fiddly on the manual, but otherwise like really solid, none of it a deal breaker. And in the air, you're not going to care. This thing is dope. So I'll leave it at that. Watch the video when I get it done. What do you say? Who are we going to bring on, Wesley?
Sorry, I'm back. I was working on getting them in right now.
No, that's cool, man. I just running amok.
No,
So
yeah. Keep chatting
you
for a
talk
minute.
to
We're getting somebody on.
Okay, I was going to have you talk for a minute, but because James wants to see another 90 millimeter next to this MiG, but I'm going to get rid of my cruise-in stand back there, and oh, this will be cool.
Uh-oh.
Awesome. All right. It's cool.
So I guess while he's fumbling, guys, I've actually started on the storage, getting it ready. It's looking awesome. I got the F-18 ready to maiden. I'm jealous of Ryan having that MiG already. Man, that thing looks sweet.
All right, sorry, Wesley.
It's all good.
What I miss?
Oh, nothing. I was just kind of mentioning in the background some of the stuff I've been doing this week.
Oh, yeah, man, go. Run.
Yeah, man, I mean, I'm loving it. You guys have seen the Toss and Boss planes down here, and then we've got the F-18 ready. We've been working on the storage. I'm really excited about the storage. I mean, I can't get over it. I mean, it's a beautiful airplane. It's huge. It's everything you want in an airplane, you know what I mean? Anyway, I'm loving it. So I'm going to hop back over here and try and get these guys back in again. I'll be right back.
All right, man. That's cool. I'm going to look at the chat. Victor Shameless, crashed what? What are we talking about? Bobby's Hobbies, anyone have a spare FMS 80 millimeter fan unit? Don't know, but this is a good place to ask. I think I have them on the Amazon store, to be honest with you. Toss and Ball Stat Storage, yeah, Incredible Hulk style. When we get someone in here, I know we want to get a comparison of this. That 48-inch MiG is a monster, dude, no doubt. Captain Mike's on his way. That's cool. He says 10 minutes. Let me tell him, doors open. Doors open, fool. Bring me dinner. Nah. Well, yeah, we were flying till, I mean, honestly, I just got in. Every Saturday is a rush. Hey, Ryan, out of town, but wanted to wish you happy 52. Congrats, bud. Well done. Thank you, WP88. Is that Ron? Is that you, Ron? Yeah, thanks a lot, man. You guys are great. It's this y'all show, man. If you didn't show up, I wouldn't show up. Ryan and I complete sentences, Rickham.
Hello.
What I miss? Brother from another mother, man, for real. Pilot Ryan, John VHRC got a wheelie landing today, and you got to do the same with the MiG-7. Dude, I got wheelie landings, no doubt. That thing flies better when the nose is loaded, but still acts really light. You'll have no problem getting wheelies. Randy, I crashed, Ryan, my multiplex Shark. It's jacked up now. Oh, man, sorry about that. Tim from Muncie. Is that WP88? Oh, cool, man. Dave's RC, what's going on? I want to thank you very much for that super chat, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Victor's sword went, oh, man, your sword went down. Yeah, Tim from Neffy, I got you. Yep, good to see you, man. Tim from Neffy, WP88, ladies and gentlemen, is the guy who was flying the Mustang FMS Redtail with me when I did my custom 1500 millimeter Thunderbolt video. So that was cool. Tim was flying with me. Todd Breeda, what's up? Old friend is right. Next to the Freewing F4. It's at the shop, man. I can set it next to a T-45 in a minute. That's the only thing I have down here right now.
Your first.
Everything's still in the car.
ready.
All right, man. Let's permission to cross the quarter deck. Let's do this thing.
All right, let's welcome Jeff's Custom RC.
What's up, guys?
What is up, Jeff? Good to see you. Could you guys hear Wesley introduce Jeff? Wesley's going to be, you know, a heck of an MC tonight. I want to introduce also Jeff's Custom RC right now on the show. You guys have seen him in the chat, probably seen him in every chat, supporting everybody in the community who's doing good things. So, Jeff, welcome, dude.
Thank you, man. Pleasure to be here, buddy.
This is quite a trip, isn't it? I mean,
yes, congratulations for you, man. You're the man.
Thanks. Jeff, congratulations to you too, though, man. Jeff's Custom RC, ladies and gentlemen, somebody drop a link to his channel in the chat. He is doing it to it, folks. He's got a lot to offer if you want to learn how to do custom paint and weathering techniques and just hang out and see what the community's like in his neck of the woods. Right, Jeff?
Thanks, man. Yeah, man. It's all because of you guys. I mean, same with you, buddy. I mean, I appreciate every one of you guys out there.
Jeff, I appreciate you too. And you know what? It's one of those things. If you're, I don't know if you've missed a show, by the way.
No, I have not.
Because I would know if you were gone.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you, Mitchell Farley, very much for that super chat, by the way. So, Jeff, you used to come into the chat and you had a different name, didn't you? Did you use your last name or something?
Yeah, it was J Miz 1, and I changed it because I wanted it to be more official.
Well, I think I couldn't say it either. I was like, didn't I say something? I mean, I was on a thing for a long time about telling people what to do.
You did, but you asked me. You said, "Is your name Jeff?" And that's when I wrote you back. I said, "Yes."
Okay. Yeah, it's so much easier to say a name than like I don't know, MiG 2176. You know what I mean, or something crazy.
Exactly. I was just lurking at first, you know.
Yeah, I get it. And then, so let's talk about your channel a little bit. When did you begin your RC channel?
Probably about 6 months ago, after watching you on Motion RC, watching Dave's, especially because, you know, Dave was growing and Jeff Nichols, these guys were growing, and we all wanted to, you know, get up there. Yeah, Skip, of course, is an icon. But you know, just tuning into your shows on Saturday night and watching what you do.
Well, thanks, man. I'm glad that's an inspiration. It's you know, that's a byproduct. That's not been the intention. I mean, I think we're all alike. I think we're all just kind of a little bit crazy about these planes. And because we're crazy about them, it's hard to find someone that shares that same, you know, passion or craziness. And so we congregate together. And, you know, this live streaming thing, it's new to us, you know, it's real. I feel like it's definitely new. I mean, the guys who do gaming, I think, really were the first ones to be doing that, and maybe not even on YouTube. So once YouTube came up with it, I thought it'd be a good idea because I really wanted to connect with you guys even when I couldn't make videos. And I was a little bit scared, you know, to do it because videos are short and it's over and it's very to the point. I was a little bit worried about you know, if folks would really like me at all or not.
Well, if you look at the fact, you know, not only have you sold, God, who knows how many hundreds, thousands of planes, whatever, to us guys, but at the end of the day, you saved a lot of planes because your battery position, your flights, your rates, everything that you do helps every one of us. And every video that every guy puts out there, we just help each other. That's what it's about, you know?
Man, thanks. And you're totally right because you know what? Good is just good. No matter how you slice it or cut it up and where you put it, good is always good. And if we can help each other have success it's good for everybody because, I mean, let's be real. Like, let's just be business for a minute. If you don't crash your plane, then you can get another one. if
Right.
if you crash it, then you're gonna fix it. I mean,
Right.
that's not why I'm helpful, but it's just one of those things. I mean, I'm the same way. If somebody else has
Well,
flown it first, I go watch them.
well,
Like,
but it all goes to the one you did on the Corsair where you fixed it. And for guys that can't go out and buy another plane, you can fix it if you just take a little time to work on it.
absolutely. Guess who's here, ladies and gentlemen? Captain Mike in the
What's
house.
up, Mike?
I
What's
don't
up?
know. You can't hear, can you?
I can hear you.
All right. Let me try something. I'm gonna turn up the volume. It's gonna be lagging.
Mm.
I don't know how, Mike. We're not gonna be that close. Jeff. No, you're absolutely right though. And so what's here? I'll do it like this, Mike. How's that? Can you hear Jeff? Hey, Jeff, say something.
Hey, Mike. What's up, guy?
Could you
Barely hearing, but yeah. Hey, how's
here?
it going,
Let me
man?
turn it around. Let me turn around. Try it again, Jeff.
Hey, Mike. What's happening, man?
Oh, pretty good, eh?
Could you kind of hear him right
Kind of
there?
hear it, yeah.
Okay. So
Glad you're here, buddy.
so anyway, we're getting recombobulated a little bit, but when we help each other out, it's all I do the same thing. Like John VHRC, I think I'm butchering the name of the channel, but that's it. Something like that. That's the first flights of that MiG 17, MiG 9. What is it? MiG 17.
MiG 17, yeah.
MiG 17. So I mean, I'm watching those flights to see what that plane behaves like, and when I'm watching those flights, I want to know where the battery is and if they're going with book CG and all that kind of stuff. So we try to deliver that information now. And I want to tell you, it's just really a carryover from our earlier days. We spent so much time making videos at Motion. We've all come up together. And I mean me and Mike and you guys, the community, because we're friendly enough that you could approach us and ask for the things that we weren't maybe giving you. You know, we didn't come out of the gate knowing, even thinking about showing you really where we put everything and stuff like that. These are things over hundreds of videos and loads of customer interactions and behind the scenes at Motion trying to deliver the best experience for the consumer that we just ended up landing on. So where to put the batteries, how to fix your plane, if you like the rates or not, all those things are information I think that we all really are thirsty for, and the best channels tend to do a good job at giving that to us.
Well, as we all know, right off the bat, CG is everything. And, you can build a plane wonderfully, but if you don't have that CG dialed in, you're in a mess. And the videos where you guys showed battery placement, for me especially, has been critical. And I just think that's an awesome thing that you guys do.
Thanks, Jeff. Thank you so much for that, man. And anywhere we're dropping the ball, we want to know too. Like we like to know when we hit it out of the park, but if we drop it, we want to know too. And because that's really what it's about, is this great give and take of information and camaraderie.
But it's about good video too, Mike.
It's about good video too, Mike.
Yeah.
He says,
That's
Jeff.
right. That's right.
Mike works really hard to get it right. We had a hell of a time today, and that's the thing. That's the when you don't just settle for what you got and you're always trying to make it better a little bit. You do run into hiccups here and there. So it's how it goes, man. Mike's awesome. We love it. Bobby Committa's been helping us a little bit this year too, because boy, we got to fit it in when we can get it in. So
Well,
that's
I just
what's
see
happening.
how having a small channel like I've got, I can't imagine what you guys have to go through in a week to put out what you're doing. And I just think it's highly commendable for everybody in the community. And please keep up the great work, guys.
Jeff, thanks so much for that, man. You have to love it, obviously. You just have to love it, be kind of crazy, a little high strung, and slightly insomniac. and you can do it. I'm always outlasting Wesley. Wesley's young man always talking to me about it's bedtime. And I just don't go to bed till I pass out, but that's probably not good for me. But anyway,
Well,
Jeff,
it's like you
we
were saying
appreciate
on
you.
the, well, and one last thing, it's like you were saying on your videos that you talked about a while back. If we watch you, we watch Wesley, and all these guys out there, Skip, that are doing great videos, and just take from each one and put them all together. Anybody can grow a channel if you really work hard at it, and it's what you love, as you said, and I do. And I've got a wonderful wife who helps me with this computer stuff and design, thank God. But it's tough, and I can't imagine what you guys go through in a week.
Yeah, thanks, man. It is kind of tough, and honestly, I could do loads better. But it's if I go for perfection, I'll completely halt progression. So I go for it, man. And sometimes I just let it fly. Maybe I'm not completely tickled, but this is how we don't know any other way, man. We just been rolling hard, and I think that's really where it's at. And you guys with new YouTube channels, there's loads of opportunity there if you utilize the features and all that kind of stuff. You guys have heard me say it, like I'm trying to help you on your channels as well as I'm trying to help you fly, because we've learned a lot of stuff just by doing it for so long, really by mistake. There's some things we've learned that can help you guys out, and it seems to be working for the guys who are taking that advice.
Yes,
right, Wesley?
definitely.
You got it back?
Hang on. There we go. We should have audio now. My bad.
Yeah, stick
clicked the wrong button.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad it was that easy of a
Back
fix.
to what I was saying. Jeff,
Yeah.
we'll talk about it again because the guy just missed that. Sorry, Mrs. Boozer normally runs this side of the computer, and I'm kind of pulling point tonight. But I was saying that the repaint that you did this week on your F-16 over the last few weeks on your channel has been just absolutely beautiful. Sorry, guys, we can hear it again.
Yeah, it does look good. I said today on a Facebook Live when I was on my way out to the field, I was like, if it's not Arctic camo, I don't want
We're
none.
not flying it.
Yeah, I brought that A10 and that MiG today, and I was like, if it's not Arctic camo, I'm not taking it out.
That's right.
So funny.
But it's all because of you guys.
Yeah. Definitely.
Thanks, Jeff. Thanks. And it's all because of you guys. We do this. I mean, it takes everybody. That's what. Whoa. Thanks.
Oh, look at that.
That's what's awesome. Is like it takes all of us to do this thing. So Jeff's Custom RC, check him out. If you're not already subscribed to his channel, go do it. Check out his buddy, Mr. Beast, as well. You'll die when you see how huge that channel is.
He was just at Area 51 too. Check it out.
I gotta check that out. I gotta get a shirt too. I'll buy it. Don't worry about it. Don't even bother him. The dude's like a millionaire. He's a gazillionaire, dude.
But you know what? He's one of the most humble people you'll ever meet, and does not come across that way at all, man.
You can tell the dude's just heart of gold. I mean, who comes up with that stuff anyway? Like, you're gonna go get a glass of water and tip like
Yeah,
$20,000? Like,
that's
you
right.
gotta be a nice guy.
Well, he said one day, he said, "Who'd have ever thought that I had a job where I could make people happy for a living?" He said, "What an experience." And that says a lot for who he is, you know?
And he works hard, dude. These guys who are YouTubers, the full timers and such, it's no easy road. They're working their butts off, and it's like uncharted territory. They can change the game or the algorithm anytime. So they're really they're risk takers. You know what I mean?
That's it. Yep.
Good
That's right.
stuff. Good stuff. Jeff, we'll have to do this again sometime.
Hey,
Pencil me in for a year from now.
hey, man, I hope to be there, and I hope you have many years to come, bud.
Thanks, Jeff. You as well. Thanks so much. Wesley, are we ready to do another? Hey, let's get Captain Mike chatting up a little bit. Can you see the comments, Mike, at all?
No, I cannot. I didn't bring glasses.
Okay. Well, Victor Shamulus is here in the Too Deep. Eric Quinn RC, Fred Mud Bud, Papa Boozer, Dennis Farley, RC Weaven, Eric Rogers, Reckham Roy's RC. We got a lot of guys who are going to be popping in tonight. And if I need to repeat anything for Captain Mike, I'll definitely do that. James was in here. I don't know if he's hanging still. David Dellis, the new name I've not seen. Hello from Georgia. Give it a thumbs up if you'd like. And don't forget to subscribe to all these wonderful channels here in the chat. You guys are free to drop links, but don't throw that sub for sub stuff around. YouTube really doesn't like it. So just drop links if you want and let it be. Mike's always rocking the stash, ladies and gentlemen. And he had his Richard Petty hat on out at the field. We had a great time out at the field today.
Perfect day.
It really was a perfect day. We had an event. Bobby Committa flew his Dynam Hellcat into oblivion. This thing kept on ticking too. Upside down, dragged the tail, hit the stooges, like landed in the corn. I mean, just everything was on. It was just sick. It was crazy. Meet up at Area 51 and fly 250,000 RC jets in. A-10s can take crazy abuse from machine gun fire. Yeah, that's why they put the engines where they put them, right? Sean Gallagher, RC Jetworks team pilot, says he missed Mike at EDF Jet Jam.
Oh, man. Yeah,
I did too.
There. Yeah.
I did too. Speaking of Jet Jam, we did just release Dave Kawaski's Buddy Box flight on that BVM E-Bandit this week, which was kind of fun. Wanted to document that for everybody. This is a funny one from RC Weaven. Pilot Ryan, put the stash next to the MiG-17 so we can get a size comparison. Dave Kawaski dropping links to his channel. Always killing it. I'm just playing, Dave. I just said to drop links. It's no big deal. Jeff's Custom RC, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, let's give a round of emoji applause to Jeff's Custom RC, who's always been supporting in the chat, dude. Wesley, again, thank you for working this out. We've got another victim in line, I'm sure, guest. That was awesome. I need one of those in my life. We have Terry on video saying it's okay. That's right, man. $5,000, plug and play. Let's do this. Is that a screwdriver in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me? Nope, it's a screwdriver. Not happy to see you at all. Thank you very little. A-10 jets need to hide to keep from sucking up FOD from the runway foreign objects and debris
That was
test.
awesome. I need one of life. We have Terry on video saying it's okay. That's right, man. $5,000, plug and play. Let's do this.
I heard that delay right there.
Are you just happy to see me? Nope, it's a screwdriver.
Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you and me talking like 5 minutes ago, 30 seconds ago.
My bad, guys.
Oh, I see. Yeah, Dave. Look at all those emojis. Yeah, turn the volume down on that. He can turn the volume down and still see the chat if he needs to. but he's going to be too busy to need to.
Is that better? Is that better?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry about that,
Let's
guys.
do
Give
this.
me just a second to get this set up again.
No problem, man. No problem. Whoa, Jeff's Customer C. Thank you, man. We're gonna make it rain. We're dabbing for dollars. Do it, Mike. Other way. Dabbing for dollars. Yay. Congratulations to ourselves. Super appreciate that. You guys just won a beef and cheese quesarito. That's what I'm getting after the show. I'm getting dinner, man. I had to come right home.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys are the best. So, you guys stay tuned this week. There's still loads of videos coming from, I got Jet Jam stuff. I got Neffy stuff. I got today's stuff. I'm going to probably turn around that MiG really fast because I want to get that good information out to you guys. You guys, seriously, look, the MiG is awesome, but you have to look it over. I had one landing that was not great. Pop the retract right out of the wing. There's a little plate that covers up that pocket just for looks. 2 little tiny nothing screws, and then you take that off, and there's your retract. Aluminum milled, looks really nice. And there should be 4 screws that hold the retract to the wing. There were none. And it's not like it stripped them. They have not been tapped. They were smooth holes. So look over your MiGs. And one other thing I want to tell you before we bring on our next contestant is that the servos are screwed to the servo covers. So if your servo cover is not screwed onto the wing good, or they miss the holes, then your servo is just going to be flying in the air. So check all that. Dave Kawaski, thanks, man. Check all that out. Everything that could be messed up by human install, check it out because it might have been. I didn't have screws in one of my retracts and some other things that I'll list again and better in those videos coming out on the MiG. But otherwise, Mike, how'd that MiG perform in the air?
It's nice.
It looked good.
It was good.
It looked really good, and we're going to get Mike some stick time on it too.
The sound of it is amazing.
The sound was amazing.
Yeah.
The flight time was really good. And dude, it's just big, right?
Yep.
But not big and like slow. Like the vertical was sick. Wait till you see it, man. We did it Pilot Ryan and Captain Mike style. We can't wait for you to see it. Wesley, how are we doing?
We are doing awesome. Are you ready for your next guest?
I am. Let's
You
do
know
it.
it, guys. Keep it PG-13. It's Dave's RC.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dave's RC. You know him from Toe the Line. Dave's RC YouTube channel. Somebody drop the link to his channel in the chat and shower the chat with loads of emojis for our man holding it down Friday nights, Dave from Dave's RC. Good to see you here, man. What is up?
What's going on, Ryan? How you doing, man? Mike, good to see you, buddy.
Hey, good
I'm always happy to see Mike, man.
I told him he had to come tonight,
Yeah,
man.
you did. So.
Yeah,
I was like,
definitely
come
had
on,
to come, man. It wouldn't have been the same. It wouldn't have been a 1-year anniversary without Mike there, man.
I know it, right?
Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's too cool, man. Man, this is awesome, man. I appreciate you having me on, man. It's surreal.
Had to do it, man, no doubt. And you guys who are, some of you guys know that YouTube has kind of like a messenger style text thing that you can do with friends. It's another app, another platform. Well, it's been going off all week with all the guests that we have slated for tonight. It's been wild. You guys gotta follow these dudes that are on this show. So Dave's RC, somebody dropped his YouTube channel in here. He does flight videos as well, like we all do, and he does a live stream Friday night at 9 Eastern time. Right, Dave?
That's right, man. That's right. 9 p.m. Eastern time.
And you've been at YouTube for how long? Let's just talk about you for a second.
Okay, so I actually started flying, period, in 2016, and
Wow. Yeah.
I was stubborn, and I wanted to start off with EDF jets. I didn't want to start with prop planes. I didn't want to mess with prop planes at all. I just wanted to go right to the EDF jets. I regret that now.
I was gonna say, how'd that work out for you?
Yeah, it didn't work out so well. So I got myself a little 50 millimeter Banana Hobby Raptor. And
Okay.
so you think left is left and right is right on the stick? No, that's not the way it works. Yeah. So it ended up doing a few barrel rolls and then pow, right into the ground. It was done. Toast. Pieces everywhere. But I ended up getting a little MiG, a 64 millimeter MiG from Motion RC, and we beat the snot out of that thing learning how to fly it.
Did you flat spin it a lot?
It did flat spin a little bit, and then I put a gyro in it, and it really smoothed that thing right out. And yeah, a lot of fun, man, a lot of fun. That thing took a lot of damage and kept on going. We busted the nose of that thing. We squashed it in 4 or 5 times. We just put it in hot water. It went right back out again. So it was a good plane to learn on. It really was. It was a real fun, good plane to learn on.
Let me tell you how familiar that sounds to us. Captain Mike loves that MiG-15 and has had, how many of you had?
4.
4.
Yeah.
The dude is so nuts about the flat spin on that MiG-15, which is unrecoverable, it sounds like.
Yeah, you can't.
He just gets it in a flat spin and just enjoys the whole way down and the bounce at the bottom. And usually is still able to like, oh, son of a gun, Michael. Oh, leg cramps. Michael's going to talk to y'all for a minute. Holy shit. Oh my gosh.
Right.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
He's cramping.
I'm
Oh,
gonna get some electrolytes.
He needs some Midol.
I'm going to go get some
Yeah,
water
Midol.
if I'm able.
I got some gynolotrin in the car.
Oh, talk to the people, man. I'm going to get some water because both hamstrings just cramped up like crazy.
Yeah, MiG-15. It was my favorite flat spinner.
So yeah, Mike, when I first got mine, I had it set up
That hurts.
just whatever the radio would give to it. You know what I mean?
Oh.
And then I fly with a tactic radio. So I caught your video on how to modify it so that you're flying with the auxiliary channel.
Right.
And then I set my MiG up. So the MiG that I have now is actually set up that way. It's actually set up the way you set it up in your video, your demonstration video there.
That's
I'll tell you what,
that
man,
needed.
it's perfect. It is perfect. There's no better way to set that thing up. It's absolutely rock solid once you get it down. Yeah, you don't want to get it slow in the turns. You definitely want speed in the turns. You don't really want to be stalling it out too much. Yeah, a lot of fun though. And then your F-15. So you put out a really, really nice video on that F-15 with the battery placement and everything like that.
Cool.
I haven't flown mine yet, but I'm excited to. And like I said, that was another video of yours that I watched to make sure I got that 5,000 where it's supposed to be, and hopefully everything goes well. If I don't fly it, Ryan's gonna want it.
It's a very forgiving aircraft.
It is, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So
That's
you
awesome,
got no
man.
worries there. Yeah, I ended up throwing oh gosh, what was that? Because I flew it for at least a year and a half or so, just normal receiver. Then I put the AS3X in it. I used the Blondie, e-flite Blondie.
Okay.
I stuck it in there. Didn't have to do anything to it, and that was perfect.
It works good. So
Oh yeah.
Now you have yours on a switch, right, where you can turn it off and turn it on, or is that pre-flight? You have to do that pre-battery.
Yeah, that's done right. I never messed with anything. I just
Right as soon as you plug it in, then.
Yep.
Okay.
I left it all the manufacturing settings.
So all the
it's-
dials are still at manufacturer setting.
Yep.
Okay. I'll remember that, because that's what I'm flying inside of my F-15 is the what is it? The free wing gyro? Are those similar?
Uh-huh. I don't know. We've never got to fly one with that gyro.
With the free wing gyro.
Yeah, we never have.
It worked well in the Sabre, so I'm imagining it should work good in the F-15. Real quick question for you, Mike. Did you get to fly the MiG-17 today?
No, I didn't. I was filming.
You saw it though, right? What'd you think, man?
Very good. A lot of problems with it as far as it was a little bit of getting it flight worthy, I suppose.
Yeah.
but man, was it great.
Yeah.
It was absolutely it's big.
Right. Ryan was telling me it's bigger than the 80 mil Saber.
Oh yeah.
Really? Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
excited, man. I'm
Oh my
excited. Wes, I'm
gosh.
excited. I'm excited, man. I
I'm
can't
still,
wait.
I'm dying.
He's still on a high from it.
No,
So.
Yeah,
no,
I-
I'm not on a
I
high
can
from
imagine,
it,
man.
man. Both my hamstrings have cramped up like.
No, I meant from flying the MiG because you were very excited.
Oh no, yeah, I'm totally still on a high from it. Oh
Yeah.
gosh,
So
I gotta take care of myself a little bit. I'm afraid to sit down, dude. Like all my legs are gonna go nuts.
All of them.
just eat
all-
the banana. Eat
all
the
two
banana.
of
You're
them.
fine. You can stand up, Ryan. It's all good, man. You got my
Ugh,
respect, bro.
Let's try this again.
I remember I hurt all 2 of my forearms.
Hold on,
That's
guys.
hilarious.
I'll be out in a minute.
Oh my gosh. If I keep my legs straight, I'll be okay.
You're pretty good at
Let me
eating
see
that banana.
these. Can I?
Yeah.
Let's try this. I don't want to not get to do Dave's. Jeez, Dave.
So Ryan, it looks like you're gonna be. It looks like you'll be getting your Havoc and getting yours done first, man. So I went to the hobby store today.
Oh,
On
no.
the way to the hobby store, I called, and somebody went in there and bought both the Havocs that they got.
Oh man.
So they got 2 Havocs in, and they let the one person buy both. People at the flying field were like, "That's not right, man. They shouldn't have let one person buy both of them." But it's all good. That's
You know what? Hey, get one from somewhere else. Screw it.
That's what I'm gonna. That's what I'm. Well, they said that they'll have another 2 in.
I know a guy with an Amazon store. Get it from there.
Yeah, I'm hoping. I'm hoping this time. Because I could have asked Bert at the hobby store. I could have asked him. I could have said,
Oh, it's
let me
You needed one for each.
let me
leg.
put one on hold, and he would have done it, but he
Yeah.
didn't. They didn't. I didn't ask because I thought it would be there. So Tuesday, they have another shipment coming in, and I've asked them to hold one for me. So if you get yours before Tuesday, man, you'll be right.
I don't think I will.
For me.
Dude, I think you're still going to get it. I think you'll still beat me, and that's okay. I may be lucky to get mine at the end of the week because I don't think mine's coming from Hobby Zone because I want to support them.
Okay.
Since we've done some deals together, you know.
Right.
So support those who support you.
Yes.
And so I actually am not getting it as soon as I could have had I just went with Horizon. But it was the right thing to do, even if it cost me a little time. So you might still. Rick and Roy says 2 days from Amazon. Is it on Amazon? Yeah, go to my store and then get it. It's not on there yet, but you might be able to find it anyway. Whatever.
So
I'm doing the F-16 though. The little 4S F-16 is supposed to be here on Tuesday.
64 millimeter.
Yeah, that little 64 millimeter. It's going to be a ball, dude, because it'll
I can't
have
wait to see
AS3X safe. They sent me a couple of those smart batteries. We'll see how those work. And
Is that Havoc yours? Is that shipping from Hong Kong then? Is that shipping from?
no, when I have planes on the store, it's always going to be FMS or Horizon Hobby. That's really the only planes I can have on there.
Okay.
They ship from Horizon. It's this influencer social media marketing thing I'm hooked up with, and that's what YouTubers do, man. Listen. I didn't invent the wheel, man. I just know I'm smart enough to hop on.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
That's all.
On.
That's
Yeah.
it,
Okay.
dude. I'm just
That's
doing that.
That's all there is
so
to it. That's all there is to it, man.
that's
You
it.
know what you're doing, man. You guys know what you're doing, and a big huge shout out to Mary Boozer. I'm watching what he's doing here as I'm talking. He's going boom, boom, boom. He's clicking this, clicking that, and he's got it,
Dude.
man. I couldn't do this if you had it written out in front of me. What to push, what buttons to push, what to do, man. Yeah, Barry Boozer, mad props to you, man. I see how hard you're working behind the scenes. You guys should all give a big, huge shout out to Mary Boozer. Wearing his shirt
Absolutely.
right now, right here, Mary Boozer, right here, baby.
Nice.
Yeah.
Absolutely couldn't do it without him, man. We work together a lot on a lot of things actually
he's doing
behind the
great,
scenes.
man.
I couldn't do this whole. I wanted this year. There he is. I wanted this show to be really what it deserved to be, you know, which is really a thank you to everybody who's made this show what it is, and by just being here, you know, offering like legit, real credible friendships and like information in the hobby. So yeah, man, but back to the Havoc, I can't wait. It looks like a couple guys are getting a lemon here and there, but we'll give it a fair shake, and you looks like you'll probably get yours first anyway. So man,
Right.
do your thing. That's the thing. We just have to, if we start worrying about stepping on each other's toes, no one will do anything.
Right. Okay. Right. That's all. That's I honestly I think I needed to hear that from you, man.
Do your thing. I'm
Awesome.
gonna do mine, and I ain't gonna ask permission.
Yeah, thank you.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely, man.
Dave
Yes,
is
good.
a hoot, Mike.
Yeah.
You gotta. He does a live stream every Friday, 9 o'clock on Dave's RC YouTube channel, and a lot of the same usual suspects here. We're hanging out over there, man, and having a hell of a time. And
I just want to say one more time right here, Eric Quinn. Congratulations on the victory, bro. It's right here. I'll be sending it out
nice.
tomorrow. Well, what's tomorrow? Sunday? No. So I'll be sending it out Monday. So
that's the thing, guys. You never know what you're going to win over at Dave's RC. Last night they ended up talking about it went from Pitt's biplane giveaway to like flat Earth, like in in like half an hour.
Yeah, it did. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. it was a lot of fun, man. Don't get me talking about astronomy on the show, man, because I'll sit there all night and talk to you about that stuff.
I think I will on purpose.
Yeah, I know you will.
We have a ball, and Mike, I hang out. I usually am at your show every time. Because it's really fun to just sit there and rip people to shreds in the comment section.
It is
like
funny.
Everybody's got thick skin, and we have a good time screwing with each other in the chat. It's just awesome.
It is. It's a lot of fun. Well, Ryan, before I go here, man, I want to say congratulations on the 1 year, man. That's huge.
Yeah, thank you.
That's huge. And you've always got my support, man. You'll always see me up there with them super chats, man. And I'm also on your Patreon as well. So
thank you.
I definitely support the cause, man, and I appreciate. That's me showing you that I appreciate what you and Mike do for us, man. And that's where that comes from, man. And I really mean that, man. You guys are great. I appreciate everything. Like the first video that I ever watched of yours was your 64 millimeter saber flight, and you threw that damn thing in the air like a football.
Yes,
like a football.
did.
And that thing took off like a rocket, and I was like, okay, I'm getting the saber. I ordered it that night. You know what I mean? It was great.
That's how it goes, man.
Yep. It's awesome, man. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate the time. Mary Boozer, is it time for someone else to get in here, bro?
I think so.
Thank you.
Man, Dave, it's good seeing you.
Here, Mary Boozer, man, I appreciate what you do, man.
Oh, man, it's a lot.
Dave's RC, thanks so much for coming by, man. Everybody give a crazy amount of emoji round of applause. If you're not checking out Dave's RC, go do it. Somebody drop a link to his channel. You guys check it out.
Come by on
We're having a good
Friday
time
and toe
over there.
the line.
That's it.
Toe the line.
Toe.
Well, you know why I called it toe the line, right? Because in basic training, at the end of the night, right before it's time to go to bed, right before lights out, the drill sergeant runs up there, toe the line, and that means you got to run up and stick your toe on the line. There's a piece of tape that goes along the entire length of the barracks, and you got to stick your toes on the line. They come and they check your hygiene, they check your fingers, they check your toenails, all that crazy stuff. Yeah, but so that's why I ended up calling it toe the line, because that was one of the funniest times, because all the guys, that's when we would start joking around and start shitting around, because we weren't supposed to. We weren't supposed to mess around at that time. We were supposed to eye sport. We're all messing around when the drill sergeant's not looking. We're over there messing around, trying to get one another to laugh so they'd have to do push-ups. So yeah.
Dave, that reminds me of a crazy story. I'm gonna rip through like super fast.
Go ahead, man.
Stay on. Same kind of thing. Boot camp Navy. It was like we had to muster. It's the same thing. You stand next to your rack at attention. They're gonna check you out, all that stuff. And across the barracks from me was a guy from Texas, Austin, Texas, who was so bloody skinny, his clothes hardly stayed on him. And he had glasses that were so special and thick and round that they couldn't, the BC glasses everybody gets?
Birth control glasses, yeah.
Right. They couldn't make him some. So he actually got to he was the only kid who got to keep his glasses because they had so much glass in them they couldn't even make them. So he just looked like he had magnifying glasses on his face because they were so thick. The dude, I don't know how that he got in because he couldn't see apparently, and we called this dude Glowworm because of how he looked. And when he stood at attention, like it was for the president of the United States. I mean, just as hard as he could. I mean, all you gotta do is stand there, right?
Yeah, right. He's all
it's
serious.
Like every muscle must be, tense. And the dude would just stand at attention so freaking hard that every time I had to really try hard not to laugh. Well, one day
it didn't work.
One day it didn't work, and we all did push-ups, and it was my fault. But I was like, "Look at him!
Give me a break."
How could you not? It was cool. Like nobody was mad at me. It's like, how could you stand across from this guy and not do it even more often?
In only one night, in only one time, you lost your stuff. Yeah, man, that's funny. That's too funny. Yeah, we had a couple
to where I couldn't
that's
look
funny,
at him anymore.
Yeah, that was a good story. You need to get with Eric Rogers and start telling these veteran stories, man. He wants to start doing these veteran stories, bro.
Nice.
Yes, that's what he's doing now. He's gonna start periodically calling people that he knows that are veterans and doing a live feed with them. And,
oh my gosh.
Telling veteran stories.
Real quick, Dave Marshall. Ryan, when did you go through Navy boot camp? I was in Great Lakes from April to June of 95. Company 929 back in the day. I only did 2 years. So I was there the same time 2 years prior. Company 933. It was triple threat. We had like a choir, a drill team, and a band. I tried out for the band and I played cymbals. When we did we did Anchors Away. I did the that was it, man. Because I couldn't read music, but I knew where to put that, and so which was awesome because we had a company. We only had one company commander instead of two, and we didn't have to do as much. We didn't have to do drill because we'd have to go. We actually got off base and did parades and stuff, which was pretty sweet for being in boot camp. You know what I mean? Because you actually eat food that's not from the galley and things like that.
Yeah, my dad spent a significant time in the military. He was in 24 years. He retired as a master chief out at North Island, San Diego, off the USS Abraham Lincoln. Nice. He was a maintenance master chief, and he worked on the E2s, the S3s, and then at the end it was the helicopters, the Seahawks.
Nice.
Pretty cool career, man. He was one of the youngest guys at the time. He was one of the youngest people to ever make chief. Master Chief. So he was only 34 years old when he made Master Chief.
Whoa.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. He was 17 years old. He was 17 years old when he went in, and at the age of 34, they promoted him to Master Chief. So
they don't promote you if you're not towing the line. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You don't get that stuff by mistake. So he obviously knew his stuff and was doing his thing.
He did what he had to do.
That's it, man. That's the neat thing about the service. There's guys, I don't care where you come from. Sky is the limit. If you're willing to suck it up and take it on the chin here and there, do your thing and have a little bit of initiative, you can be ace of the base.
Yep. He did his thing, man. Like cool. I wasn't in all that long either. I think I did a total of like 5 years. But I
got out to be a rock star.
Yeah, right? With the cymbals?
No, I was doing bands and rock and roll stuff before that, which is why I went for the band thing. I was like, okay.
Well, that's cool, man. That's awesome.
I tried out on drums and it was awful. They're like, try cymbals. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, right. I played the snare in high school, so I know a little bit about the drum. I can read the music and stuff at least. So, but I haven't touched a snare since high school. No kidding. I go over to my buddy's house. He has a set of drums, and I start pounding on him. He's like, "Hey, you've done this before," and I was like, "Yeah." I played in the marching band, bro. That's it.
That's all. Yeah, right. Cool, man. Yep. Cool.
But like I said, man, I appreciate you guys having me on, man. I think supper's out there calling my name, man.
Go get some of that, man.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you having me on, Ryan. Mary Boozer, thanks a lot for what you're doing behind the scenes. Michael,
Oh,
wonderful to see you, man. Wonderful to see you.
yeah, good seeing
Appreciate
you, man.
Appreciate you being here,
Appreciate
man.
Big thanks, Dave, for all of your time in the service, sir.
Yeah,
man.
no
Thanks.
problem at all, man. No problem at all. And everybody in the chat as well. Thank you guys too, man. Brian, thank you, man. Big pieces from Dave's RC, man. We're out of here, bro.
Appreciate you. Have a good night, man. Always
a lot,
a pleasure. Man. Glad you could make it. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, man. We'll talk to you guys later. Have a good night.
Peace.
Yeah.
You got it. See you. Peace. There we are. Awesome sauce. Guys, I hope you're having a good time. I'm not even paying attention to the time. I just now decided to look. It's been an hour. I hope y'all are up for it because this thing is going to roll and roll and roll. I think Mike might even have to. I'm not sure how much he can do, but I'm liable to go a while. As long as my legs don't cramp up. I got them straight as an arrow right now under the table because if I bend them, it's gonna get crazy. Playing Crazy FPV, Shelby Sealback. I got a fever. The cure is more cowbell. David, thanks for your service. Nam vets need all the love they can get. That reminds me, we did an interview right here on this show for Memoirs of World War II. It was one of our early shows. It was like single digits. It's like less than 10, I think. But Memoirs of World War II YouTube channel does a great thing to get veteran stories from World War II. Guys who are like, thanks, Tom. We met at Jet Jam, right? Good to see you. He's getting these stories while these guys are still alive. Obviously, World War II guys are up there in age. So check out Memoirs of World War II. Tell him we sent you. Thank him for what he's doing. And if it tugs on your heart, support him some. Really cool interview. And if you want to learn more about it, obviously check out that channel. And man, go back to check out our interview with him. That was I thought a really good show. And we had a lot of fun. Good kid. He came from Flight Test. You guys will recognize him, a lot of you. So where are we at, ladies and gentlemen? The Fred Barron, Mike, do that voodoo that you do so well. Dennis Farley's like fist bumping, blowing up Tom Heat Dirks. Congrats on one whole year. Great dedication on your part. It's been fun and helpful. Thank you, Tom. Dave Marshall, lots of vets in here tonight. Absolutely looks like you can change this to a rated R channel. Yeah, right. Cuss like a sailor. Boy, I got to try not to all the time. This is like a rose, says Jeff's Custom RC. Yeah, RC Weaving, Tom Heat, Dirks, Eric Quinn RC. Yeah, Dave was awesome to have here in the chat. Mike held it down really good while I was having a crampy moment and had to eat a banana real quick and down a glass of water. It's crazy. I was outside all day today, and I don't really do well at taking care of myself. Brandon Moon, good to see you here. What is going on? Oh, ladies and gentlemen, I have a feeling that you're in store for more than you've ever bargained for right here on RC Pilots Lounge, episode number 52. Wesley, you see me cheesing.
Can we bring him on?
This is gonna
Can we bring him on?
Are you ready?
Are you ready is the question.
I don't know.
Captain, the Crouton Dexter is in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get him in here.
Let's do this thing right now. Ricky the Photon Dexter, Captain Crouton.
What's up, guys? What's up, guys?
What is up?
What up?
Good to see you, ladies and gentlemen. Ricky the Photon Dexter.
Hey, guys.
Round of emojis.
Congratulations on 1 year.
Thank you so much, man.
Yeah, appreciate that.
Brian and Mike.
Love it, man. Hey, where's all the ladies at tonight, man? You always are out with the ladies all the time.
I kicked them out the door. It's too special.
You kicked them out, man. It's
too special.
I get it, man. At least you got your priorities straight. You know what I'm saying?
You got that right.
You got that right. Ladies and gentlemen, blow up the chat with emojis for Ricky the Photon and give me some crazy stuff to throw at him.
Come on, guys. Throw it at me.
Throw it at
Crouton.
Wesley, you got to get in here too, man. Holy moly! So what you been up to, Ricky?
Oh my God! Today I was out and about. We got a taste of Arlington Heights where I live, where you go and walk and eat the whole day. Basically,
Okay.
that's what I've been doing.
Nice.
Didn't fly. As you can see, I got one behind me.
That's the FMS Avanti.
Yeah, that's the FMS Avanti. Haven't maiden it. I got everything hooked up though, but.
So where do you fly at in Chicago?
I go to Palatine. It's about 5 miles from where I live.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's the guy with the Sky Raiders. We got to get up here sometime.
I know.
Hey, I brought Captain Mike in for you, man.
I know, Mike. I miss you, man. I miss you.
Yeah. I got a lot of time constraints every now and then, so.
Hey, I know. We're both the same. People need us, you know.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I'm liking that Super Viper sitting in the background, Ricky.
What's that?
I said I'm liking that Super Viper you got in the background too.
Yeah, the miniature Super Viper.
Yeah, right. Nice.
Actually, it's a nice little size 70 millimeter.
Oh.
I was surprised.
Dude, and it's FMS, so it's a 70 millimeter in runner that's going to perform outstandingly. And does it have suspension struts as well?
It does. It's got suspension struts. It doesn't have lights. It's the only thing it doesn't have.
Hey, Ricky, let me ask you something. Is your YouTube on? Is your YouTube? You got any volume on your computer right now?
The echo.
No.
Okay. All right. Never mind.
I got headphones on, so I shouldn't.
Right on. I'm just seeing some stuff in the chat. I think we're fixed now. David Dellis just picked up one of those Avantis as well. That thing ought to run on a handful of different packs, and those things fly really well.
Yeah, I'm gonna run a 5,000 in it. So.
What was the last thing you bought?
50C. Oh, the last thing I bought was the MiG 17.
MiG 17.
I posted it on your channel.
On Facebook? Yeah, that's right. You got the party started on that.
Yeah, we got a lot of comments on that.
That's right. RC Pilots Lounge Facebook group. Ricky the Photon kicked it off on the MiG 17.
I did.
Hey, have you put that thing together yet?
No, I haven't even opened the box. But
how do you do that? I can't buy a plane and not want to see it.
I don't know. It has something to do with my watch collecting too. I mean,
you got willpower.
Yeah, watches are watches to me. Planes are planes, but I love it. I mean, I can't wait.
Wait till you see my video, man, because I'm going to point out all the little things to look out for.
I can't wait.
It's none of it's a deal breaker, but it can help you out, which is how we roll. Nothing. It's par for the course. You know what I mean? We're kind of in a lovely position these days where we just don't really feel like I got to bite my tongue at all. Just let it rip, you know?
That's why I love this show. Everybody's free throwing everything out. Everybody can take it and give it, which I like. I'm a kind of a goofball in general, but
I don't know how you do it, but you manage to liven up every chat you're a part of. And face, I'm telling you, it's crazy how the written word can. You're just obviously a fun time. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I got a lot of experience from Facebook. Many years. Oh yeah, many years.
So what do you tell everybody who has no idea, including myself? What do you do, man? What's your gig? How do you get along?
How do I pay for my girlfriend's dates?
Yes.
Actually, I work in government.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll let you go, man. Thanks a lot for coming over. Nah.
And I know I do work in government. I can't really say what I do.
Come on, man.
I can't do it, man.
You're pulling my leg.
No, I'm not.
Listen, let me tell you what I thought you did.
Okay.
This will be hilarious. Because I see all your watch stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I thought you did?
Hit me.
I thought you worked at a kiosk in a mall selling watches.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
Wow.
I mean, what else?
Well, most of my Facebook guys think I work at a mall as a security guard.
Okay.
So, but I can't tell people what I do. I just say I work for government. So
that's crazy. I thought you were like a watch influencer.
That's just a hobby I took up like 3 years ago. Now I'm basically selling it as a second job. for fun.
Okay.
But
So your little
Anyhow.
side hustle
a little
action.
side hustle. Yeah,
So
definitely.
are you this is fun. So are you and you're one of maybe 5 RC dudes on Twitter, which I appreciate you for, and I see you over there. Thank you for that.
Yes.
Um,
No problem.
Texas, Minnesota, we're having a conflict there.
I was gonna wear my bandana.
Yeah, well, you still can.
I can. I'll do it.
It's I'm super intrigued now about what you're like. You do.
You know,
really.
you
He's
are
probably a trash
well,
man.
well, the thing is, you're allowed to tell people you are a mailman, right?
Yeah.
No. Hey, Mike, that's a good stab at me, man. That's a good one. Throw that out at me. No, I actually work. I work, guys. This is all I can say. I work in aviation.
Okay. Cool.
Cool.
Sweet.
Yeah. I'm in management of aviation.
Nice.
I don't fly, but I manage. So.
Cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
I manage aviation too. I manage to buy every radio-controlled aviation product that they release. I think
And
you
that's
do
what-
as well.
I do buy a lot. I don't just fly much, but like I told you on Facebook, I think I told you, I really couldn't do much this last year except be on the channel with you because of my ex-wife.
Yeah.
Now that I got her out, I have
Thank you,
more time.
George.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Give her my number.
Okay, I will.
I'm kidding.
She
I'm
thinks
totally
Mike's
kidding.
hot.
Oh, does she?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
She's actually been here while I was watching this a couple of times. She does say
Mike's a
Mike is
handsome man.
hot. Yeah, definitely.
Was she just trying to get under your skin or what?
Nah. We stayed friends after the divorce, I gave her half of everything, so she wanted to stay friends with me, make sure she got it all.
Perfect.
And so now I shipped her out. She moved to New Orleans, so I'm up here by myself.
Nice.
So I'm not from here. So
Where are you from? Are you from Chicago?
I grew up in Houston and moved to Austin.
That's right. You're a Texas guy.
Yeah, went to school in San Marcos at Texas State, and then moved to Dallas before we moved up here to Chicago. But yeah, I'm ready to retire probably in the next 6 months, and I'm maybe going to Colorado.
How are you going to retire, man? You're like 23.
Oh, thank you. You would never guess my age then if you think that. So.
Well, cool, man. That oil of Olay is working tremendously for you.
I use Dove too.
Dove.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ask me a question. Oh, George, I'm sorry to hear that, man. I'm sorry. I'm multitasking, Ricky. You know how
It's
that
okay.
is.
I can't even read. I can't even read the chat. So
Government.
It's government.
It's government. That's how it works.
So I'm ready to get out, though. That's for sure.
That's sometimes guys get to retire early. I did my retirement from 20 to 30, and so I've been back in the workforce, for about 15 years now.
Cool.
Yeah, man, I did mine early. Couch tour.
Yeah.
Little Navy, rock and roll high school, that kind of stuff.
Definitely. Well, I started at
Late to the party.
The Air Force ROTC back in the day, and ended up with not being in the Air Force. So I kind of, yeah.
Yeah, well, I got out of the Navy to be a rock star, and here I am.
Well, you did, you are doing good for yourself, sir.
I am exactly where I'm supposed to be, man. It's fantastic.
Yeah, and I want to give you kudos, you and Mike. I mean, you brought me back into this. I used to be, back in the day, a gasser. I'd probably say 30 years ago, I started doing, gassers. That's all they had back then.
Yeah.
So after my 16th crash, I said, F this. I'm doing something else.
Yeah, for sure.
And,
hey, you lasted longer than most people.
Yeah. Most people stop at
on
15.
and off. Yeah, definitely. I'm not afraid to crash planes or drones, but it got me into, probably 4 years ago, I got back into it. I kill myself every time because I didn't get into foamies first. I went into drones first.
Right.
Then after that, I kind of died off of that a little bit. Then I caught you probably 3 years ago, and then ever since I'm hooked. So
nice, man. Well, thanks for sticking around. So 3 years ago, you probably found us at Motion then.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I watched everything.
Nice.
When I finally meet you, I will knock it off your your shoulder. The
Thank
battery.
you. Yes.
I am
Was that
bigger
the-
than you.
Are you? Okay.
Yeah, I am bigger.
I don't know, man. I'm a big boy. I have a good. My job is fairly physical, so I don't know. It doesn't look like it, but I'm solid under all this.
Well, I'll tell you what. At 18 years old, you ever see those guys in the building cleaning windows 50 stories up?
Yeah.
That was me at 18.
No kidding. Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So you're international man of mystery, Spider-Man, Invicta watch influencer, secret agent man, also former Air Force, started with gas, went to drones, now on foamies, keeping the internet rolling. You're a busy guy.
Having fun. Yeah.
We are all better for having you hanging out with us. We
I appreciate
definitely
it.
have a good time when we see you, and I think you know that because you know what, and really don't worry, rip them to shreds, because if they can't handle it, they just don't know who you are yet, because it's all in good fun, you know.
Definitely. And I was going to ask you, would you like to build my A1? Can I drop it to you when you move?
Dude, I would love to say yes, but I'm so bloody busy, man.
Okay. That's cool. Anytime
you-
you want to. I'm not going to build it this summer.
Will you let us? I mean, here's the deal. I wish that they were making that thing again.
Oh, I know it. I flew
Yeah.
mine a couple weeks ago. Yeah.
Do you want to do one?
It's really easy to build.
Do you want to do one?
You
Here's
have to
the
be
deal,
on
man.
camera, Mike.
You got to do it on camera, Mike. It'll never happen then. So I've got to do it.
Well, just hold
Hey,
on.
man,
then.
I won't say never. I won't say no. I won't say no.
Good.
Dude, it's crazy. I wish I really, you know, at first I was not really wild about them cloning sheep and stuff like that. But the older I get, the more I wish there was another me to do stuff. So I'm like totally cool with it. And then now that
I don't see how
I'm
you do it, Ryan. You got so much energy to do everything you do. It's
I don't know.
unbelievable.
I honestly don't know either.
Yeah.
I think there's probably a problem somewhere.
Oh yeah, there's issues. You've got issues, definitely.
But it's cool. So,
I want more Mike though.
I know,
want
right?
more Mike.
More cowbell. More Mike. I'll never let Mike go, man. So,
Never.
Yep. No way.
Hey,
I
I'm an hour and a half from you, man. Invite me over one day. I'll come over.
Dude, you know what? One of these days.
We should
Actually,
go over there and build it. That's what we should
that'd
do.
be fun.
That's what we should do.
That'd
We
be
should-
fun.
Anytime, man. Anytime.
Next time my people are out of town, man, we'll see about getting up there
Yeah.
or having you come down. I think it'd be great to do a get together. You know, today was actually a fly-in at our field that we really, I kind of was thinking I might want to blow that up for next year and like kind of invite folks, make it a Pilot Ryan, Captain Mike, you know, fly-in deal, which would get more people there and raise money for charity in the club. I think that'd be cool, but I didn't want to do that this year because it was the same day as this year anniversary thing. I just didn't want to have too much going on. So,
I feel you.
yeah,
I'm
man,
going to
stay in
Dallas
touch.
too. I'm going
Stay
to
in-
Dallas.
are you going to go to Dallas when we go?
I'm going to Dallas.
Sweet. Let's do it. Yeah, as soon as that, we don't really know what's up with that yet, but we love going to Dallas once a year, about October. It might be September this time. I don't know. But if that goes down.
Well, I have cousins there. I could stay and mess
Well,
around
we're
anyway.
staying cool. We're staying at their house.
You got it. I'm staying at Anthony's house.
Anthony can put us up. I'm the kid who will invite myself to lunch.
Yeah,
You know,
me too. Me too.
Like, the moms hated it. It's like, what are you doing here still? Like, I'm feeding my children. Well, that's cool. I'll eat.
I went over to Christmases. I went to Christmas at my house. Then I went to Christmas at my friend's house. And their mom is like, what is he doing here? Hey, you don't want this?
Yeah, hey, what? I mean, come on. I make everything better. Let's do this. So fun, Ricky, man. We'll have to work it out and stay in touch. And man, you know, you got my number. You got me on Insta. You got me on Twitter. You got me on Messenger. You got me all over the place, man. We'll work it out one of these days, man. You're close enough. We got to.
Definitely.
I'm going to answer a question real fast. In the tube deep. Thanks for coming by. Ryan or Mike, CG on the MiG-17. I would say cheat it for your maiden flight, 15 to 20 millimeters. But that thing flew really good when I had the weight in the nose. And on my last flight of the day, I flew a 5,000 back a little bit more, closer to the book CG, and I didn't like it as much as when I had the nose just a little bit heavy. And when you watch the videos I put out this week, you'll still see that the nose is really light, aero braking, cool wheelies, even with the nose loaded up. The plane just sits just right, man. It's cool. So just cheat the CG forward a little bit, you'll be fine. And in the tube deep, you got so much experience, you'll be okay.
Yeah. I
For
enjoy
sure.
his channel.
Mike loves your stuff in the
Yeah.
tube deep. Was it Eurofighter and some
Oh,
other
yeah,
things
man.
that you were loving from that guy?
He had
Raven Rock, what's up?
Sukhoi. Yeah, I love them Sukhoi videos. Troublemaker, man.
Troublemaker.
I
Yeah,
love
that's his kid, I think. Shelby Sealback, I don't know what we're hopping into here, but he says he considers himself above the law. Just, who's the new guy sitting next to you? Says Plain Crazy FPV. This is Captain Mike, ladies and gentlemen. Captain Mike's debut.
Yeah.
52 shows. Mike's been on 3 of them. Probably 4. But that's okay. Everybody's asked for him every time. I am still on. Yeah, I know, Captain. Thanks for the message. Photon just messaged that he's still on to me in the chat. So funny. Oh, goodness. Ricky, man, pleasure. I don't know what. Hey, Wesley, what's up, man? What's on deck? I'm going to keep this thing moving.
There we go. I had
You
to
guys
mute myself.
Yeah, Ricky and Wesley, you guys have like a torrid love affair of some kind of thing over the IX-12,
That's right.
don't you?
And I'm sure we'll get to talk to it more in future. I definitely plan on having Ricky on our show. He always brings a smile to my face every time he comes in the chat rooms.
He looks like he's
Oh,
frozen.
you know what? I
Is he
think he
that?
exited out already. He might have had to go.
Oh, man.
Ah, what the heck?
I was like, dude, he's standing still for a
All
long
right, I guess
time.
I'll get rid of him real quick.
Go TikTok.
Ricky, the Photon Dexter, ladies and
Well-
gentlemen, I don't know if he's got a YouTube channel or not, but he ought to drop links to
I
something.
gotta find him now in here. He dropped off before I was ready for him.
He's frozen.
Well, anyway, guys, I love Ricky. I'm glad he came in tonight.
Yes,
There's his
man.
beautiful
Thanks,
face.
Ricky.
I'm gonna transition back and get the next guy up.
All right. I hope you don't get hurt during the transition. Ladies and gentlemen, round of emoji applause for Ricky the Photon Dexter, please. Yes, his window is frozen. RC Pilot Lounge. He forgot the S right there. See that?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just teasing. I mean, he did, but. Plain Crazy FPV says, blink, Ricky, blink. Please. Oh, man, what a good time with Ricky. Papa Boozer. You're funny. Thanks for the emojis. This is crazy. I should have had more time, says Photon. So I don't know what happened there, man, but thank you so much for being on, man. That was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll get together one of these days for certain. Michael Honeychuck wants to know, Wesley, what power plant in the storage? By the way, ladies and gentlemen, Wesley has a show tomorrow at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. Ace says hi. Yes, we got the MiG. David Martin Graff, thanks for coming by. Appreciate that. Good show, guys. Keep up the good work. Michael Roshka, hey, Ricky, I'm an Invicta watch nut, too. I own 27 different ones with about half are different colors and styles of Grand and Pro divers. I missed something. Michael Honeychuck wants to know, Wesley, what power plant in the storage? By the way, ladies and gentlemen, Wesley has a show. You did something, Wesley. Okay. Maybe they're listening to the show. That's what it is. They'll have to, unfortunately, mute the show. Killer Diller. You know, it's funny not knowing who's coming.
Yeah, I know.
You killed me with Ricky. As a surprise. I didn't know you got him. Wesley, ladies and gentlemen, thanks to Mary Boozer for helping me tonight.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way I'd be a good time trying to coordinate all this, actually. And just so pumped. Our next guest is a dog, it sounds like. We're going to have a dog on next. Oh, okay. I can hear a dog, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, my goodness. Oh, I got you. I know who's coming. Awesome sauce. This will be cool.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes, it's working. Rowdy Joe's, while we're getting things recombobulated, Rowdy Joe wants to know what my opinion is on the Freewing 90mm F-16. I know that Mike and Jeff's Custom RC love it. I think it's kind of piggish and heavy, but it is badass. I know, but it's not my favorite F-16. Mike, you talk about it a little bit.
The first ones, the two we had, I think had lesser power plants in them because we were at full speed and barely flying. But when I swapped it out with a T45 motor, man, that thing moves. So I enjoy it. I like the lit up butt, man. I think all planes should have a lit up butt.
Nice. And then you can always make it clap if you're lucky. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to, Rowdy Joe, I hope that answers you. Watch Jeff's Custom RC videos on the F-16. He's got one he's done custom, and it's really nice.
I enjoy the landing gear.
The landing gear are fantastic.
Man, that was done right.
I'm probably a better pilot than I was when we had them the first time, too. So I might get along better now. I think I was too nose heavy on it always. A little bit. Are we ready, Wesley? Yes. Let's bring in our next guest, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody, round of emoji applause for the one and only Victor Shamulus. Victor Shamulus, welcome to the show again.
Hey, Victor. Hey, Victor.
What's up, guys?
Were you the first Johnny on the spot?
Yes, I was.
Yes.
Of course.
Yes, of course.
I hope everyone can hear me okay, too.
Everybody hear Victor okay?
Looking at the chat on the laptop, too.
Yeah, there's always a little lag. Captain Photon says he has a channel, but don't go there, government worker. Get it? Absolutely go there and subscribe to Captain Photon's channel right now, just because he said don't. Jeff's Custom RC has the 1835 N-Runner in his. What's your opinion, Victor, on the 90mm F-16?
I've heard it's a pig, but I never did purchase it. I do have the obviously the 70mm version, which is obviously completely different.
Yeah.
But when I make a comparison to it, it is similar to the F-104 as far as the landing gear assembly is exactly the same. So
yeah,
but flight characteristics wise, I couldn't really make an opinion about it. I mean, it does fly similarly to other jets. Obviously, like the F-16 is going to fly just like the little one too. But it does have at least a little bit more weight to it, so it can bleed off that energy better, than like the smaller one. Smaller one obviously doesn't have flaps, so it's gonna take a lot more energy for it to bleed off when you're obviously you need to flare a lot longer, a lot harder than you normally do. Just like what I was talking about with the little F-104 that Wesley has that he's going to be assembling soon too. So
right,
it's got a lot of it retains a lot of its energy. That's why it really comes in hot. I mean, that's kind of why I damaged mine too, because it got me on when the wind shifted during my flight. So it's kind of been a hanger queen for a while now.
I see. Yeah. F-16s, man, it's funny. They I enjoy them, but I tend to enjoy the smaller ones better. But I should probably I honestly think the big 105 would be fantastic because you're going to benefit from lighter wing loading in a way. But ladies and gentlemen, Victor Shamulus, you guys, I want to introduce you to him if you don't know him already. Somebody please drop a link to his YouTube channel. He's got great taste in fashion. He's wearing a shirt right now that can be gotten on the Teespring store for Pilot Ryan and Captain Mike. And I got a logo that should work for the hats. I'll let you know, but be looking out for those next week. Victor's got a YouTube channel and he flies all the time. How often do you get out, Victor? You make videos about every time.
That's a good question. Obviously California weather is, pretty easy, I guess. So we don't get that many days off. I've been, I was told I had like over 1,000 videos on my YouTube.
Whoa, is that right?
I that's what someone told me. I can't even, I don't know how to count my videos anymore. There's just so many of them. I started my YouTube back, it was like 2013, I think. It's
okay.
Quite a while, so.
That is quite a while.
I've been flying since 1990.
Wow,
obviously,
man.
like some of the other guys, obviously were talking about growing up in the glow days and having to actually build airplanes and instead of mostly flying, you'd be building like for days, weeks, months, I guess, before instead of obviously instead of just flying all weekend like you can with the foamies. But
man.
it did help. It did help because you need to learn how to repair these foamies too, just like any bird. I mean, I crashed my F4. I crashed my MiG. I crashed my 22. I had to repair pretty much everything because of we have some pretty notorious crosswinds here where I fly mainly, and it's really hard on my aircraft because we have bumpers, because I basically fly off of a parking lot. If you've seen most of my videos,
and there's sidewalks and like parking blocks and stuff. So Dave Kawaski's here. He says that you have 1,184 videos on your YouTube channel. Have you monetized? How many subs you got? Do you know?
I think I had 152 or something last time, and I'm surprised, that I don't have enough. I don't have as many, subs as I would think that I would have by now.
You guys who want to do a talk on YouTube, because there's really some basic things that can be done to help in that regard, and I'd be glad to talk. I actually offered this once before, but
I know I've been busy to
me too.
Be able to answer that with you.
But there's ways. There's ways to do it, and it's amazing what a little bit'll do. You have to treat it. You just have to name the videos something that would be searched for. So more people are going to search for Free Wing MiG-21 than they're going to search for Windy Day, Victor S, Apollo Field. You know what I mean? Just for instance. So definitely use the product in things like that's for another show, but some of that simple stuff.
They do like that word crash though.
Crash does wonderful. Name the product and put crash in it. That's one of my hottest videos in the shortest amount of time. We have some videos that did really good over a long term. One of them, we gave this channel a 5-year break, as most of you know, and I really wanted to thank Victor first of all before I get off track. Michael, Victor was probably with us on RC Air Training Command before Motion. I think you were.
And I haven't missed a show also of yours either.
Recently. Yeah, awesome, Victor. Thank you so much, man, because those kinds of things. I mean, it's like if I ever for a minute thought about not doing one, I would. You guys who are here all the time are who I'd think about letting down. And then I got so many under my belt. It's like, well, man, let's just keep going, you know. And here we are, 52 shows later, like chilling out. We got some high tech help over here with the boozers, which is fantastic. And I just want to let everybody know that you're like long haul Victor. Like, I swear, I remember Victor from early on, um, motion days for sure. And I thought RC Air Training Command too. I thought you were there for that, which is what this is now. We just changed the name to what people would know us by.
That's what's been holding me into the hobby also for, for quite some time too. Obviously before we did nothing but glow and gas. When I started the electric, it was definitely getting to the point where it was only brushed, motors,
Yeah.
lithium ion batteries, or even even C size and D size, big huge, nickel metal hydrate batteries.
Yes.
There's back when in the early days of electric, I had like a 60 size, P47 that was from Hobby People, that was completely electrified to, that was those were nice. Started out, with some nice Thunder Power batteries, like the
Oh
like the
man,
2P versions,
they were
so
expensive, right?
they
I thought
were
I thought those Thunder Power batteries were super expensive
they
back in the
were
day.
crazy, and they took
Um,
forever to charge
what
too.
what was your first plane? So you said you started in the 90s. Did you do it continually, or did you take a
Hey,
hiatus?
that's a very good question. I did take a break, like a 5 year break, uh, when my actually when I got divorced the first time. So I had
Okay.
I had remarried. I had taken a break from that for like 5 years, but then I got back into it. You know, if you know also that my son flies too, so
Yes.
he's
Yeah, your
he's
son is responsible for really the last nail in the coffin on the money I spent for the P-39.
yeah
He did a real nice landing on that P-39. I couldn't stand it anymore. I had to pull that crazy order button.
he's been he's still he's still sticking it every weekend too with that thing. He's
Nice.
become quite the pilot. He can fly jets. He flies the racers. Him and I fly the racers together, at least
Do you
before I
guys
crash.
does he go fly on his own or does he only fly when you're out too?
That's a good question. We've been there's a couple of days when we had to go out, alone, but I think that's one of the things that really keeps me busy is because we're always going together now.
That's awesome. No,
Yeah,
that's fathers and sons is a good deal. That's
amazing,
cool.
isn't it? Yeah, amazing. Now he's 29 and he can fly pretty much anything now.
That's cool. That's gotta make you feel good too. So when did he
You
start
did.
flying?
God, it's I can't remember what year it was. I'll have to ask him because I have to maybe look up his AMA number, see if it has the start date on it,
Okay.
because he started when he was a boy, so I started him pretty young, and just like most boys, they'll always, like to take a break, like to, do other things like games and stuff.
Yeah.
But he really started back up, when he got into a young adult. He really, started going at it pretty hard, when he was in school. So
Nice.
he really, yeah, he really started back up when he was in school, and he's been, yanking and banking ever since.
Nice. Nobody can hear you, Wesley. But that's cool, and it's awkward now because I just spoke to you, right? Are we getting
That's okay.
we're gonna keep it moving along. I'm not done yet, Victor, but we are gonna keep it
Okay.
plugging.
If you got any more questions, just let me know too.
Yeah, guys, lay a question on me in the chat for Victor, ladies and gentlemen. I'll ask him. We're gonna keep moving because I know we've got more folks, don't we, Wesley?
Yeah,
Man.
it's getting quite late. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just checking the too.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
awesome.
but like I said, I've been going at it for a long time. Yeah, I mean, I'm my duties as the administrator for the EDF Jet Clubhouse is keep me quite busy also during the weekday.
Yes,
You
let
know,
me talk about that real quick. EDF Jet Clubhouse Facebook group. You're the head admin, and that's a hell of a Facebook group. It's super active. You've got loads of members. It's well moderated, and I want to thank you for that. I always share. I think I share stuff out to there, and so does Wesley. And I think anybody doing anything utilizing Facebook or it ends up on that page. So guys, thanks for dropping the link, Victor, to the Facebook group EDF Jet Clubhouse. Check that out. Subscribe to Victor's YouTube channel. Show him some love when you're over there. Let him know you stopped by. Give him a thumbs up. Loads of emojis here in the chat. Thanks for being Johnny on the spot once again. First Johnny on the spot,
No
Michael, was Victor. He didn't know it was coming. I just called him on the phone through like Facebook Messenger and like completely surprised him and then just like held him up here. Johnny on the spot. I mean, it's a great name for that segment.
We've came with a little more technology tonight, huh?
Little bit.
Oh, how times
Little
have
bit.
changed.
I was pretty.
Do you have any final words for the audience, Victor?
Well, I was pretty tired that day. Thanks a lot. You know, you had me. I just came back from a jet event, so I was pretty exhausted. I was tired. You know, I was just barely hanging on as it was.
That's hilarious.
But it's okay.
You did great.
Really
You did great. It was fun. Well, that's awesome. That's how the vloggers do transitions now. That was fantastic. You are the man, and you never know what you're gonna see. Midstream camera transition from Victor Shameless, ladies and gentlemen. Beautiful.
I hope you didn't see my ugly, dirty room. So
No, it went so fast. It was a little bit like a tornado. Don't worry. Don't worry. Victor, we're going to let you go, I think. Thanks so much, everybody.
I know we got a lot of people.
Yeah, man. Everybody check out Victor. Loads of emojis in the chat. I see him already. Thank you for coming by, Victor, so much. And thanks for always being there for us. I can always count on you to be hanging out and watching our flight videos and hanging out in the chat, offering and giving loads of value to the community. And it's always fun to watch you fly something.
I try to help in the community quite a bit. You know, try to help with advice. You know, recommendations. You know, try to comment on a lot of people's videos. You know, it's hard to keep up with everybody, but you know, it is a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun, and it is hard to keep up with everybody. But you know what? When things fly by, we know we can at least hang out on the weekend with our buddies, man. With Dave on Friday. Hang out on the Saturday Night Live, you know, Pilots Lounge Saturday, and round it up an hour earlier Sunday with the boozers. Tons of good time and loads of value, and it's just the best thing going, right? We'll have to get in prayers and thoughts to Pilot Robert, man. I see a lot of comments in the chat. We all wish him well, and I know he's really not missed a beat already. He's just got to do what the doctor tells him and heal himself up. But he's a trooper, and they're not going anywhere. So a lot of love to Pilot Robert and Captain Blosh. A lot of love to Victor Shameless as well, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, thanks, guys. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Bye, Victor.
See you, Vic.
Hey, guys.
Doo-doo-doo. And it's us. There we are. We're nothing fancy. Get us a guest. This has been fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, are you hanging in there? We got, it looks like 80 folks kicking it, about hour and 44 minutes. Are you kidding me? Barry G, feeling the love last night in Dave's RC giveaway. You guys, Barry G won like 3 or 4 or 5 like giveaway raffle prizes in a row on different various streams. And it was like, oh my gosh, this guy's got to go get a lottery ticket. I mean, he's you know, if it were lightning, he'd be a marshmallow at this point. Awesome, Victor. Thank you so much. Anthony Sanfilippo, Dennis Farley, what is up? John Graham, Pilot Robert had a work accident and like hurt his hand really bad. So it's his left hand, I believe. And he's, got to do therapy and wrap it up and things like that. But it didn't stop him. I mean, he did like an unboxing on the MiG-17 already. I think that like the day after it happened. So, yeah. That's going on. Yeah, I don't know who's next, Jeff, which is awesome. I don't know yet who's next because Wesley is pulling the strings back there, Puppet Master style. Michael Roshka says, hey, Vic, I hope you didn't hurt the F4 too bad. Love that plane and love mine too. Brad Mullins, no problem, dude. We love those guys. And if it wasn't such a disparity in time, they'd be in the show. They have popped in the show before. They're great. I got to get those dudes to wear some shirts, though. I told them I'd buy them some. I told them I'd get them some. Yeah, guys, we love this RC Pilots Lounge. It's something really to look forward to. Mike saw me scurry off from the field tonight, just cutting it short so I could hurry up and get home. Eric Quinn RC won the pits, got his first biplane thanks to ARC. Jeff is just thinking about Gillies and when we are going. Keeps it interesting for you, huh? Not knowing who's coming up next. Absolutely, Dave Marshall. John Rogers looks like he likes whales. Appreciate that. Wreckham Roy just saw the biggest rat climb in the window of my garage, and it couldn't have been me because I'm sitting right here. Crazy. Holy smokes. So we're just kind of chilling here like usual. We got Captain Mike in the house. Captain Mike brought the Yak 130 90 millimeter. No sweat. Okay. I know that's weird, but I'm talking to Wesley. John Graham loves his vids. Hope he's back soon. Yeah, they'll be back soon. And you know what? They got Captain Blosh also to pick up the sticks and fly if they need to. They'll keep making stuff, I'm sure. Drum roll from Jeff's Custom RC, please. Truck driver, thanks, man. I see you always coming over on the videos and making comments on the flight videos and things. Thank you so much for that, truck driver. Yeah, man. Who does this whole group of guys I think there's been podcasts, but this is the first like group of live streaming, collective community that I'm aware of. And there's so many different kind of aspects of the hobby that not all of it is what I call recreational or we kind of like the scale stuff over here, and we kind of like foamies and those kind of things. Brian Chambers, what's going on? Mike Kennedy built the F-18 during the show tonight. Shopping for ordnance now. Fantastic. Awesome. Last video I saw Mike fly, he crashed a free-wing 70 millimeter Yak. That was a really good video, and glad we had it on film. I got that Dynam Hellcat going like smashing into that bench today, which is gonna look cool. Let's see. Roy is gone. Eric Quinn says that the rat has eaten him. Wrecking Roy just found his gun. Yeah, pop that rat, man. Check it out. Let's do it, ladies and gentlemen. You all know him. His name is Dave Kawaski. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome him. With loads of emojis. Here we are with DK, the man himself, Dave Kawaski. What is going on, Dave? Dave can't hear us, but that's all right. We'll get it worked out eventually. He's still clicking around trying to do some things. Probably having some trouble with Skype. But he certainly looks good. And he's got a MiG-17 behind him.
And he looks like he's ready.
Are you here now?
I think I'm here now.
Awesome. All right, Dave Kawaski, that was hilarious. Welcome. We've been watching you for the last 5 minutes. You didn't know it.
Sweet.
No, I'm just kidding. Sweet. Dave Kawaski, ladies and gentlemen, is also one of those guys who's been supporting us for a long time. Super active on Facebook, super friendly guy, sharing, just caring, and all around, we're all better to be in his presence kind of stuff, like so many of you. Total pleasure, total inspiration. Terry gets a nod from Dave just now. Hello, Terry, over there, off camera. By the way, good to not see you, I guess.
Come stand behind me.
Can she hear? Or not, because it gets weird with the lag. Anyway,
yeah,
hello,
she's
Terry.
on her iPad watching.
Okay, cool. Tell her hi. Dave Kawaski was just in a video on our channel this week, flying the hey Mary Boozer shirt, flying the BVM E-Bandit $5,000 plug and play. Dave, hey Terry,
Hey,
what's
There
up?
she is.
There we go. Dave Kawaski, we'll talk about a lot of stuff here, but I want you to go ahead.
The cameo on the plane.
That's hilarious. Vanna White in the house. Tell us about your impressions on that $5,000 plug and play. That was awesome.
We have Terry on video indicating it's okay that I get one. So, I can't wait. It's probably going to be a year or two off, but boy, that was just a fantastic experience. I need to find another event where Rob's at so I can fly it again.
Oh my goodness. I was so glad to be able to document it for you, even though it's as good as I can do on my cell phone. But I was just like, certainly you were glad to see it too, right? I mean, wasn't that kind of cool, man, that I got to film that for you?
That was fantastic. I really enjoyed the video. Yeah, you can see my MiG-17. I don't know how she propped that up back there. I'm afraid to turn around in the chair for fear of knocking it off.
Dave, I flew ours today. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's going on the bench tomorrow, and it's going to get assembled. And if I can convince Miss Vanna over there to come out and shoot some video tomorrow late afternoon, I'd like to get the maiden done and get it flown.
Give yourself time to
Lots
put
of
it
time.
together. There's just a little more to do on this one than maybe you're used to. I don't know. I mean, we always have to do the linkages on the free wing and fly line stuff, but it's a great plane. I had a few hiccups. I'm gonna discuss it in the video. That I know you're not gonna wait till I get my video done to start putting it together, but just check everything thoroughly. None of it's a deal breaker, but seriously, check everything. You'll think it's benign and stupid to check, but take those little white covers off of the retract and make sure that the screws are there holding the retract to the wing.
Yikes.
Stupid that I have to say that, yes, but I had one without, and it popped right off and screwed up a flap because the flaps were down when I did a donut. But anyway, great plane, none of it a deal breaker. And where else can you get a MiG-17? It flies so amazing that it's worth whatever trouble you experience. And I actually did have some trouble all day. I had to replace a servo at the field. I didn't get a manual. I didn't get a pilot, but it's a great plane. Anyway, I'll be putting out a video where I don't hold back at all in the coming weeks.
Yeah,
So I hope I didn't
definitely
just
anxious to
crap
get
in
that
your
one going.
cereal just now.
That's okay.
Yeah, sorry. Hey, I want you guys to know, man. I mean, that's what it is. Like I'm not holding back. So
Well, ours was a MiG 16.75.
yeah, right.
That's pretty much our. That's
16 3/4.
Go a little nose heavy on CG, just a little.
Yeah, that's what you were saying. 280 millimeter.
Yeah, something like that, man. You fly those Admiral 5000s,
Yep, yep.
put it all the way forward, dude, as long as you can get it under the strap. You're able to slide the strap in the battery tray, which is actually really cool. So, yeah, man, I did all the way forward and still able to put it on the strap. And I also flew a 5500 70C roaring top that really woke it up from RC Jetworks, by the way.
I have several of those as well.
Oh,
We'll
it's a
definitely
great.
we'll be trying it with those as well.
It's amazing and really not BSing. Like I could tell right away because I'd flown all day on 5000s, and then I only have 2 of those 70C 5500 roaring tops. So I was like, I want to try one in the MiG, and I want to try one in the FMS A10. It woke up both those planes. I've really never flown. I just have always flown the Admirals that we had because that's what we had and that's where we were working. And then I've been flying some RC Jetworks packs, 60C, the 6000, which I killed one of those in the F-18 the other day. So I didn't have any more big packs. So I was like, well, let's try the roaring top since you're sold out on the other stuff. And I could have got some cheaper ones, but it's like, let's try the high C thing out. Let's see what that's all about. And I got to tell you, it woke it up. And that A10, one battery has to feed both those 70 millimeter end runners.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what that is? Yeah, it's twin 70 millimeter end runners. And it did not disappoint. So I would say that it's not BS C ratings on those planes for certain. And you have some, so you can probably attest to that fact.
Oh yeah, they're fantastic. In fact, a week ago I was up in Minnesota at Watts over Owatonna, a big electric fly-in up there, and
Bless you.
took my Avanti and lawn darted it right into a cornfield, and had one of my RC Jetworks batteries in there that I don't know that I even had 10 cycles on that battery, and it went in. Doesn't seem like it did a lot of damage, so I'm going to get a hold of Andy and send him pictures of the battery and just see what he thinks. I mean, if he says, nope, don't trust it, trash it, well, then that's what I'll do. But
did you check it? Like, how are the cells reading?
They seem to be fine. I haven't tried to charge it. I mean, the plane was only in the air for, less than a minute. But so, I mean, all the cells were still up, where I'd expect them to be.
Nice.
So when I do charge it the first time, if he thinks, to give that a shot, I'll put it in a metal ammo can and, make sure that I do this safely and outdoors just in case anything happens to it. But I recorded a bunch of video this past week of stripping the Avanti, all the electronics out of it, because I think I'm just going to buy new airframe pieces and then just transplant all the electronics over. So I'll have a series of videos coming out on just that process here in the next couple of weeks. And honestly, 2 years ago, I probably wouldn't have even thought to do that. I'd have just thrown the whole thing in the garbage and just would have saved up and then bought another one. But it's videos like you and Mike have put out over the years, and these different repair videos and Wesley's videos that I think inspire a lot of us to try to do more than we thought we could. And I'll tell you what, Terry's sitting here beside me. She's on the couch so she can hear me, but it's because of you and Mike that I have, in just 5 years back into this hobby, I'm somewhere just north of 100 airplanes.
Holy moly, man.
Yeah.
And she still likes me?
Well, a little bit. It depends on the day, but
yeah.
Yeah, but it's just, I flew RC back in the 70s and early 80s, well, late 70s into early to mid 80s, and got interested in full scale, had a family, got divorced, and just, 5 years ago, I just wanted to get back into doing this, and a Hobby Zone Corsair S was my first plane getting back in, and
oh, yeah.
I've still got that plane. I have flown the heck out of it.
Nice.
Now, Terry says, yeah, she still likes you.
Awesome. Thank you. Good.
But, somebody who's grown up is, loving aviation, guys in the club will just say, oh my God, why do you need so many planes? Well, they're all different. They all have something different to offer. And yep, I like airplanes. It's about the number 3 thing on my list between, behind God and family. It's airplanes and aviation.
Yeah.
And that's just, that's really defines who I am. And
well, it's about all you need, isn't it?
Well, I think so. In fact, I
Yeah.
tell Terry that, God forbid I die anytime soon, but if I do, just take all my planes and go find people to give them to. I mean, you'll never get back out of this stuff what you've got in it, so why even bother to try?
Yeah, man. I mean, I at this point treat them like baseball cards.
Now,
And
if
and I
if
don't have
Ricky's
that
still
many.
in the, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I don't have. You guys would be surprised how few I have, but it's still an exorbitant amount if you ask anybody who's not into this at all.
Yeah.
Because I just keep it thin, and I grew up with a hoarder, so that's part of it. But I
Yep.
keep them thin, and I want to keep the channel going too, so I'm always liquidating my assets to get like the next new thing to show you guys. Because really, we have the most fun. Obviously, when we started doing this YouTube channel, we didn't have any kind of audience. So it was just us sharing our stuff. And then it just has really grown so awesome. And it's turned into a community that it wasn't at the beginning, obviously. So in that, with that community, you become a resource. And we were always doing the new products and everything, obviously, at Motion and everything else. So that's a thing that we really still want to keep doing and enjoy. So I mean, you guys can always come here for the good intel and seeing the new stuff, and of course ask for what you want to see. And ladies and gentlemen, we're not done yet, Dave, but I just don't want to forget, because everybody else got a shout out. Dave Kawaski's YouTube channel. Somebody get that in here. If you're on Facebook, friend them. And if you're on these other Facebook groups, you've already seen his stuff. He's very active, and it's always a pleasure. And he likes Corsairs a little bit. And
Got 9 of them flying.
yeah, he's got 9 flying Corsairs. He flies full scale for real. Treasure and a pleasure of a gentleman to hang out with. Check out his YouTube channel, guys. Please. We're going long tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't know if James is still in the chat. I can't see any of that stuff, but and Wesley too. I was really looking to see how I could make this work to where I could hop. Terry doesn't even know, so this is going to be new for her too. So we'll see what kind of looks I get. But I thought, how cool would it be to hop on a commercial flight, come down for a day or two to the Jolly Good fly-in and just hang out and meet some of you guys that are down in that area. Fortunately, we had some more things pop up on our 182 during its annual inspection that have pretty well consumed all the fun coupons that I have, so I'm not going to be able to do that. But boy, I'd spent the last 3 or 4 days really thinking about how to make that happen.
Oh, so, I know it. You know what? We Neffy fell through a little bit for you too. That was, I was super looking forward to that, man. And we'll have to keep that in our repertoire and try to do that again in some time. But yeah, that's right. So Jolly Good's coming up really soon. Wesley's going to be there. That's in a few weeks, I guess. It's out of my range, so it's not on my radar. But you guys who are close to Georgia or willing to make the trip, James is throwing together a Motion RC event, and there's details on that online. Definitely easy to find. Check that out, guys.
Now, if Ricky's still in the chat, just because when I die and I give away all my airplanes does not mean that he should come to Iowa. And, just say it, because he's kind of crazy and he works for the government.
Exactly, man.
Hard to tell with that guy.
It is, and it's so fun that it is.
I don't know I think Papa, if he's still in the chat, I'm going to adjust the camera. Hopefully you can see my Cassie Boozer shirt.
Is it PG?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she's dressed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
This one's dressed. But yep, I love my Boozer Girl shirt, and I'm looking forward to ordering some more in smaller sizes soon.
That's fantastic.
In fact, I need to get a Pilot Ryan and Captain Mike shirt as well. I don't have my Corsair shirt. I have shrunk out of it. It's like a dress on me now.
Oh my goodness.
So I've already outworn that. Speaking of Captain Mike, since he's sitting there, when I got my Free Wing A10 and assembled it. I remember watching his video on the F-15. I think it was the F-15 where you put whistles in it. And then I think I saw another video, somebody was doing that with the A-10. So I bought up a bunch of Nerf footballs when they were on sale and sat in my living room cutting those stupid whistles out. And I'll tell you what, that is just the funnest mod that I've done to any of my planes. It just makes that A-10 sound so good.
Oh, yeah.
It's
love it.
sick. It's
Yep.
the best, cheapest sound upgrade for any jet ever. And you know what? I forgot that I want to put those whistles in the Corsair because as a warbird, it might be fitting to have one or two in there.
Oh, speaking of which, I took my 1600 mil Corsair up to Watson, flew the crap out of it, and I'll tell you what, that airplane got a lot of compliments. I didn't do the weathering on it. Michael Lavero, formerly of Motion, did, and
Yes.
that thing is just a thing of beauty. And that plane flies so well. That is definitely, of my top two prop airplanes, my top two favorite airplanes are that big Corsair, and a very close second is the FMS 1500 millimeter P-47.
You're right there
love
with
that
me,
plane.
dude. You're right there with me. And if you'd flown one of those big Sky Raiders, that'd be in that ball of wax too, wouldn't it?
I would
That thing
love to
flies
have
amazing.
those.
I really don't know if I ever had stick time on that A1, but man, I've seen Mike fly one, and I saw another guy in Texas, Tom, fly one, and they're not much to look at for me, but boy, they fly good.
Mm-hmm.
They,
When I got that,
Fred Barron, thanks, man.
when I got that P-47, the only reason I held off for years buying that was the name on the side of the airplane. I'm not even going to say it because it angers me, but that was the name of my ex-wife. So I finally bought the airplane because I really wanted a bigger P-47 than my little park flyer that I had. So I called up Cali Graphics and said, here's a picture of the font. Make me a decal that says Terry. And, within a week I had it. So I took the other decal off, and now my airplane is named Terry.
Nice.
So now I like it. It flies great.
That's right. I made my Bonnie a red tail.
Yeah,
But,
I saw the video. That was really cool.
That was fun. It looks good. And Boozer's mom's name is Bonnie, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, actually, Papa commented on something on one of the Facebook groups about a potential new Boozer shirt coming with the Boozer logo on the front and the B-24 on the back. In fact,
Nice.
I had commented that I'd be first in line to buy that. Anyway, the comment came from Bonnie Miller, and I'm like, who's that?
Yeah,
I didn't put it together until you said, this is Papa. It's like, okay.
That's Mama Boozer, man.
I got it now. So I'm hoping he's home at work on that shirt because I need that in my life.
Are you a hat guy, Dave? Will you wear hats? I'm going to have hats.
You bet.
Probably next week. I think I'm going to have them. The Boozers helped me on my design stuff a little bit, and I got my logos. It's an embroidered thing, so it had to be manipulated a little bit. So Lori, who has taught herself graphic design, and Wesley, who is also the man behind the curtain, they helped me on some of that stuff. So
cool. I'll keep an eye out.
Yeah, I'll let you guys. You know me. I'll splatter it all over social once I get it done, because I like selling stuff. It's kind of fun for me.
Absolutely.
And just so you know, the Boozer hats are also in right now, just waiting on review. We're working on the Boozer shirt. I'm excited for it. Thank you for wearing it on this channel tonight. It looks great. We're going to have to get you a new one because you're getting so small now, man.
He keeps getting little.
I am. I'm an incredible shrinking guy.
The shrinking man.
Let's tell, how much have you lost, Dave? Is that okay to ask you?
Oh, I love talking about it. In 10 months, I've taken 193 pounds off.
Wow.
I have
Dave
lost
is killing
almost
it.
half my body weight.
Don't ever find it
Right.
again.
No. Nope.
Dave, you're an inspiration, man. It's what's so beautiful too, because it could be weird for people, right? But like, you have been so open about your journey and sharing that with everybody. And I think it's super inspiring. It's probably helps fuel you as well.
It does. It really
You
does.
seem so positive, though. It's hard for me to imagine you ever having a down, day. But I'm certain you're not a cyborg, and you've had them. But you just keep on muscling through, right? I mean, have you hit the wall or any plateaus that have discouraged you, or are you just like just Billy Badass and nothing phases you?
I'm going Billy Badass right now. I've got about 13 pounds to go to hit my self-imposed target weight. And honestly, based on the spreadsheet where I do all the tracking of this, I should hit that at the end of this month if current trends continue. I'm really surprised that I haven't really hit a plateau yet. I mean, usually around the 6-month mark, that's when patients hit that, but I haven't. So awesome, yay dude. For that. And, even up at Watts over Owatonna, I mean, we had, the day we drove up, once we got the generator fired up and batteries charging, I went out and walked 3 miles on the gravel road around the area. And I get out and I do 2.5 miles walking every single day without exception.
That's
I don't
awesome.
care if I'm home or out of town, it gets done.
That's killer, Dave. That's what I mean, guys. I mean, there's so much wealth of just goodness in the community, whether it doesn't matter what it is, whether it's RC, like most of us are we're doers. We're putting in our time as fathers, as businessmen, as workers, as working class. It doesn't matter, man. You don't normally live under a bridge and fly these things. Like, we're a bunch of guys and gals, a few, getting it done.
Yeah.
Everybody's got a story. It's just good people. Dave, you're one of them. Total standout. Thanks so much for all your support. I could leave you on forever, but I think we probably keep things
you got
going.
A couple of more in queue after me.
Yeah, I don't really
before
know.
Before you cut me loose, just thank you and Mike both for what you guys have done, back in the motion days with the videos. I mean, those were a super big inspiration and motivator for me to start getting back into this. And all right.
Don't go anywhere yet.
Papa's still I'm sure still in the chat, but he can appreciate this. Back when I started flying, it was a Sig Cadet Mark I, the straight tail versus the swept back tail that the Mark II was. And all balsa built up, a KMB 40 glow engine with a plastic Perry carburetor on it. Man, a lot of SIG kits back in those days we had. A lot of the planes that we had, Dad and I, my dad bought, but I've built a few, back in the day, and a lot of fun, a lot of great memories. And this hobby, and just aviation in general has meant so much to me in my lifetime. It's just like I said earlier, it's just a big part of who I am and why I'm so plane crazy.
Yeah, man. All right.
All right. Well, hey guys, it was good to be on here.
Yeah, man.
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up, guys. I really could keep you for a long time. You got to say hi to Dan from Hobby Zone while you were there, right?
Yeah. I hung out with him for a little while. Unfortunately, Vince and I were loaded up and ready to pull out to head for home, so I only maybe got to spend 30 minutes with him. But super neat guy, and I didn't get to fly the Marlin, but I got to pick it up, look at it, and play with it. And even though that it's billed as a trainer, I'm going to pick one up at some point because it just looks like a hoot. And you know what? Little 4S plane you can just toss in the back seat of the truck and always have it with you.
It is a nice little jet, and everything really that's come out from Arrows has been impressive, solid quality. And I have a feeling, I could be wrong, but I have a feeling that power system in the Marlin might be very similar to the power system that I'm going to see in this 4S F-16 coming next week from Horizon. So
I'll leave you with one parting thought, and then I'm out of here.
Okay.
Talking with him, I thought I could trick him. I said, hey, so, what does Arrows have coming up next? He told me some things that are coming. I
Yeah.
can't. I'm not going to say because that was a conversation there. But man, you guys that have purchased any of their airplanes so far, there's a few neat things coming. I'm pretty excited now, and I got to start saving my money again because even though I like to fly the bigger airplanes, man, that Bearcat that I've got and that little Corsair, I just love them. They fly so nice.
And remember, you'll hear it here first.
Yep.
Unless something changes, they've been really happy with the way these product launches have gone over here on the Pilot Ryan Captain Mike YouTube show.
No,
And-
we talked about you, and yeah, he said that he has a deal with you that all of these new planes coming out are going to head your way first. So let's hope that continues to be the thing because that's great.
Well, it's because of y'all's reaction and response that continues. You know what I mean? That's how these things work.
Yep.
That's awesome, Dave. Thanks so much for being on the show.
Appreciate it.
Round of emojis
Behind
once
me.
again for Dave Kawaski. Check him out on YouTube. Terry's coming in to say, hey, what's going on, Terry? You guys are so fun. I wish I could see you again, you know? We had a good time at Jet Jam, hanging out. Dave was a guest on the show live in the Pilot's Lounge right there from the event. And of course, Terry went with him, and we had a good time, and it was so fun to finally meet you in person. And what a great community here. Dave Kawaski, thank you so much. I think Wesley's going to zap you out.
Yep, I'm being zapped. See you guys.
All right, see you later,
See you later.
Dave. Awesome. Oh, man. What a good time. Mike, are you doing okay, man?
I'm sleepy, but I'm all right.
Yeah, I don't know how many folks we have left, but I don't care. It's 2 hours, 16 minutes. We still got 70 folks in here. This is live streaming gold right now. This show's so bloody good.
It's a telethon now.
It's a telethon. Operators are standing by. John Graham says, no wife, happy life, and lots of airplanes. Congratulations. I mean, that's kind of bad to say, isn't it? That I'm glad that a guy's gotta have something to do. Chris Jackson, what is going on? Thank you for the loads of emojis for Dave Kawaski. Chris Jackson is always here too. And I'm afraid to click on anything because I screwed up my whole thing before. But I gotta make you a moderator so you can drop links and stuff, Chris. Kevin Farros, what's going on? XJet. Is this the first time you've been here, XJet? Sup, guys? XJet in the house. Wesley, if you want to, XJet, you want to drop any links, man? I'll give it to your blue wrench. XJet, awesome. I have to. It totally rings a bell, but it's not like coming clear. So, Wesley, what is going on? Anything? Awesome. No, okay. Oh, awesome. Who? Yeah, XJet. Cool, thanks. Awesome sauce. This will be cool. Ladies and gentlemen. I wish I should have came up with all these like cool like tagline intros for everybody, but I just didn't do it. That'd have been cool though, like an MC of like wrestling or something. Awesome sauce, man. Are we ready to do this, Wes? I need some. Last time I hung out with this guy, we were staying up late in Muncie, having a good time.
Oh,
Yes,
nice.
having a great time. And we don't have any of those kinds of drinks in here tonight, which is kind of too bad. But I don't think we would have made it this long if we were carrying on like we were in Muncie.
All right, guys, here he comes. You've seen him before.
Ladies and gentlemen, you've seen him before. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the great white hunter from Texas.
The shark
If there's a
killer.
boar, that's right, man. If there is a boar that's bugging you, this guy will get it with his bare hands. Ladies and gentlemen, Dennis Farley, Dallas, Texas. How are you? Boom.
What's
boom.
up, guys? What's up, guys?
Hey.
thanks, Dennis, for all your support for all the time you've been hanging out with us, man.
Hey, I don't know if you guys truly understand how much it means to your community, the dedication that you guys showed to do this long.
Oh man, thanks,
Oh,
Dennis.
thank you. Yeah, appreciate it. Man, we had a good time seeing you in Muncie, man.
Yeah,
That
dude.
was-
You were just
that made
there
it.
for the sandwiches, Mike.
Just there for the sandwiches. So, we all know each other online, and then that leads to in person, and sometimes it starts off online, sometimes it starts off in person. Some of you guys don't know the story, so let's tell it real quick, Dennis. So,
All right.
you tell it.
Okay, so somewhere back in 2013, I just got started flying good, was watching your old RC Training Command videos from when you had it in the garage.
Yeah.
Got me into buying a Park Zone Snorting Bull P47 and the old Park Zone Corsair. Kind of graduated out of those and decided, well, I'd made this list of airplanes. I wanted this list of stuff that I wanted to get sometime.
Yeah.
And I got a Dynam 109 from Motion. Well, it had the ESC stutter that nobody really knew what was happening there yet. And I called Motion up, and they sent me to Ryan. And I called Ryan up on the phone on his cell phone number. We talked about it a while, and he offered to send me an ESC he had in his shop to replace the one I had in it to see if it would work. Then after that, we kind of talked occasionally, and then you guys came down to the Snowball Express event in Dallas. What,
Yes.
that had been 2 years ago or 3 now?
I think 3 now.
Yeah.
The first time we went.
Right, the first time y'all went.
Yep.
We met up down there, and it was like we'd known each other all our lives.
And honestly, me and you said it earlier about you wonder if Mike and I really know the impact.
Yeah.
I don't think we do, but I think our first glimmer of maybe what our impact might be was that Texas show, Dennis.
Mm-hmm.
Because we had that club made an invitation video for me and Mike to come down there and help do a fundraiser for that Snowball Express and fly us out there and treat us like rock stars. I mean, just crazy.
Yeah.
And we're like, yeah. But it really floored us.
Yeah.
It really floored us. But what's funny about the internet is, like, so we talked on the phone, right? I offered you an ESC, and you wouldn't let me send it to you anyway, because customer service was taking care of you, I think, when they came back in stock or whatever. But I had one sitting there in the package, so I'd have got rid of it. But and that's what would happen sometimes. A customer service guy would contact me and say, "Hey, a customer wants to talk to you or ask you something. Can I give him your number or email or something?" I was like, "Yeah." When me and Mike both were always like, "Yeah, man. You're asking me if I want to talk about airplanes?" Yes. Yes.
Right.
Let's talk about airplanes. I mean, we're still talking about airplanes. So, but I didn't know who you were, though. So then in Texas, this is the funny part. So when you finally put a face to a name, so you're in Texas. You introduced yourself. I still didn't know who you were. And then you said your farm flyer. Isn't that it? Your name on RC Groups or Hobby Squawk or something?
Hobby Squawk.
And then I was like, oh, all right, cool. And then you told me, I didn't remember, because I don't think you introduced yourself as Farm Flyer on the phone. And you said, man, we talked. And you offered to send me an ESC. I was like, no kidding. And then you won the Tiger Cat at the show. But yeah, we finally met you there, and it's so wild when those connections happen finally. You know what I mean? Because we're all online, and now we're able to kind of see each other. This is all new. YouTube going two directions is really awesome. because it's usually just make a video, put out a video, and your only engagements in the comment section after the fact. But this live stuff and the chat room and being able to drag people in now is just the best replacement for being able to meet folks in person there is. So that's our story. And then you guys went all the way to Muncie to fly and hang out at the beautiful AMA facility this summer. We got to see you again. And we saw you in Texas last year too, when we got rained out.
Rain out?
We're like bros, dude. I just want everybody to know, man. Dennis Farley is in the inner circle, ladies and gentlemen.
Well,
this is my
you're like
dude.
part of my family now.
And dude, when I have questions about stuff, I honestly ask Dennis a lot of the time. And my buddy Hippie 64, who's been really busy with some other stuff and hadn't been hanging out as much. No lack of love for him. He's just not been around as much. But these guys.
Brian used to visit a lot. Hippie 64, Brian used to visit a lot on the squawk. We kind of hit off there.
Yeah. You got, what's awesome about you guys too. There's never, with the hobby, everybody's got their kind of places they live.
Right.
Like for instance, you just got your first EDF when we did that Marlin introduction and video and stuff. Because
hadn't got it yet, still waiting, but
everybody's still waiting because we got them early and all just to show it off. But you're a warbird guy.
Oh yeah,
right?
Love the warbirds.
You're a 3 and 4S warbird guy, and so is Brian, Hippie 64. And but that doesn't, and I'm kind of I don't know, I'm whatever guy. I'm whatever I can get my hands on guy. But if it's just up to me, the jets are keeping my interest right now. I'm kind of like a surfer who likes to ride the wave of innovation in the hobby. So
the EDFs are the thing. I mean, they have come so far in the last year.
It's the first chance we've ever had. Yeah.
Right.
The foamy jets, it's the first time we've all had a chance, and we all get this chance together. And so guys like you, I'll speak for you. I'm sorry. I'm just running at the mouth. But I'm trying to paraphrase a little and speed things along. But you and Brian both have expressed the same thing to me about jets. It's like, man, I like them, but damn, I am not popping on it. I'm not sure I'm ready, maybe, and those batteries, son of a gun.
Yeah.
So I love when I get a chance to do a 4S jet, and I always call you guys and be like, man, what do you? I feel bad. I'm doing a lot of jets. What do you guys want to see me do? I've asked you that a handful of times, Dennis. Like, what do you want to see me do next, man? I want to do something propeller. What are you thinking?
Well, I talked you into getting the P-39.
That's right. That's right. And now you have it because I didn't want to pack it after Muncie.
And I haven't got to fly it or the 2 aeroplanes yet.
No kidding.
Well, the summer here, July, August, and Wesley will remember, it's 102, 105, 106 every afternoon, and it just kills your stuff. You go out and fly in that.
Oh my goodness!
You can take it easy on a battery and puff it.
Right. That's awful. And that's the one thing I'd like to see fixed someday is like gatoring. I can't stand seeing a new plane just gator in front of my eyes when it's bad.
Right.
I brought these planes, everything was Arctic camo today. It was pretty hot out there. Sun's cooking. I brought these planes to show off, and the first thing I do when I get them out of the car is cover them up with a blanket. It's like, I don't want to have to do that, but I'll take it.
But you want the plane, and you want it to look good.
I do want it to look good. Man, what a good time. And you were on the show live. You helped me hold it down in Muncie. We had Chloe Pants on there, and we had April for a minute. You provided libations and sandwiches.
Hanging out at our special friend's tent.
That's right. And you saved my life with being able to have a sandwich. That was like the best, and a Dr. Pepper is like the best sandwich I've ever had in my life. Because when I get to these events, just like earlier tonight when I just had to stand up because my legs went nuts, like I get to these events or get to flying and I don't eat. I don't want to leave.
Well,
So-
you're either flying or talking to somebody about flying because
Man.
everybody wants your opinion.
We have such a ball at these things, Mike and I, and it's just the biggest compliment ever that you'll go out of your way to meet us at some of this stuff, and I thank you for that, Dennis. A lot.
Speaking of flying,
All your
one of
people.
the greatest EDF flights I've ever seen in my life was in Dallas the first time y'all were there. And Mike tore up the sky with somebody's A-10. It looked like a 3D jet.
You hear that?
Mhm.
That was Dave Hawker's A-10.
Right.
Because we went there, we flew in on a plane. We didn't bring anything. I was flying his A4, and we got Mike up in that A10 to throw it around like he does his. Because
Right. It was
tell you
amazing.
what, it is amazing. It's something to watch. And you know, I fly these things like I'm afraid they're going to break half the time, and Mike doesn't give a rip.
Yeah.
He just throws it around, and a little bit of rudder on those A10s, and you can get some crazy snappy
maneuvers.
stuff.
Yeah, finally got a flat spin out of mine not too long ago.
Yeah.
Kept that perfect flat. I love flat spins, but yeah.
A10, man. I saw I flew the FMS one today, and then I saw a free wing out there holding it down, and it
Right.
was it's a phenomenal plane, man. And the free wing one is very innovative in its wing structure and rigidity for a foamy. I don't know. I tell you what, anybody wants to stress test a plane, let Mike have it, because he'll do it, dude. He'll throw it around. He's the first guy that told me to hover a Mustang, and because I thought it was sacrilege, but it's fun to see what they can do, you know. Holy
Right.
smokes! I love it.
And one way or another, if the deal falls through in the fall, we'll get you guys down here, see if we can get a hold with Flying Ant and go back over to that field where we did when it rained out, the North Dallas RC Club.
Yeah, we ought to figure.
Oh, absolutely.
Have
Yeah.
a weekend fly if we don't do anything else.
We need to figure it out, man, and somehow bill it to support all our friends and raise money for something good.
Right.
We get JetWorks in on it, and get us in on it, and promote that thing and work it out. Because if the snowball thing isn't happening, and those guys don't want to see that through, you know what's funny
We'll
is
do something.
we'll do something, because we have too much fun with you guys. Too much fun, and I want to go back to that Hard 8 place and eat all that meat.
Oh yeah. Neat.
Dude,
Oh, man.
the
Isn't
best
that
part of
amazing?
that, it's amazing, but the best part, and Michael will agree with me,
It's the after party. And
it's the after party and hanging out with all you guys is the
Right.
best part.
hmm
And just being, you know what, we're not in our element, we're not in our home state, town, or anything. We're just at your mercy, and it's always a good time. And I tell you, the folks know how to throw down and be hospitable in Texas. And Dennis, you're
one of them.
you're one of them, dude. And
Well, we
you
appreciate it.
You and your people got to always. So just to tell everybody about last year, real quick. Last year fell through completely, rain out. Now, but me and Mike were there already, and we flew our heads off that first day. It rained the second day, so we worked inside at JetWorks and did a bunch of
Right.
studio work. And then the last day ended up being super nice. And so,
And flew till you almost missed your plane home.
yeah, we flew a bunch that day too. Did we meet up with you on the first day or the third day or both?
Every day. Yeah. The day it rained that y'all did the stuff with Andy,
Yeah,
we didn't see you that day, but we were there the first day and then the last day.
that's what I thought. So which was awesome. So it wasn't a big event or anything, but we flew our heads off at North Dallas RC Club. Dennis,
And that is a nice little field.
it is a nice field, and you and your boy came and hung out. You brought me a pumpkin spice latte as a joke. And
Take care of the star, man. Take care of
that
the
thing
star.
was so gross. I had to cut it with gas station coffee to be able to
But
stop.
you drank it.
I sure did, because there's nothing else out there. No, thank you so much for that. I owe you one. But yeah, man, good people. Thank you, Farley's. Your whole posse over there was
Yeah.
really wonderful supporters. Mitchell,
Mitchell and
Vance.
Paige are sitting here with me.
Well, tell them thanks so much, and it was a pleasure hanging out with them in Muncie, and it's just the coolest hobby ever, and you meet the best people, and I want to.
Mitchell's already planning to come to Muncie next year.
I told you, didn't I tell you at the event?
You did.
I was like, these things are so fun. The minute they're over, you can't wait to go back.
Yeah.
And
I got to tell a story on Mitchell.
Tell it. Let's do it.
Okay, so we got to Muncie, and he kind of watched things out a little bit. And I said, okay, I'm going to go fly. Will you come up and spot for me and just kind of keep me from running over somebody's stuff? So I go up there, and I got my e-flite P-47, and I get out there, and I do my thing and fly, and I land, and we're walking back to where we had a little shade shelter set up. I said, okay, you ready to go? He said, oh, hell no, Dad. I ain't getting out there with all them airplanes. That's just nuts. I said, no, it'd be all right. You just get out there, do you one flight, and you'll be okay.
Yep.
And after he got out there and got that one flight in, then he was up there every time we turned around.
You guys flew your heads off there, and good on you too, because man, you're gonna come all that way. You better fly your head off.
Right.
And you guys did too, and you had some crazy stuff going down, and still were always able to save your plane, Dennis.
Well, yeah, the FMS 0
was giving you some fits, but you got to figure it out, didn't you?
Yeah, Mitchell saved me on that. I couldn't hear it, but one of the flap servos was buzzing, and apparently it kicked the ESC out, and I lost the power. But got enough of it back that I scooted her down in the grass and broke a couple of guns. We fixed that, turned around, put it right back up, flew it, I don't know, half a dozen more times.
That's another good one that's too bad it's hard to find now. You got that one at Killer Planes, didn't you?
Right. I got that at Killer Planes, and Mitchell had a control stick go bad on his old DX6I and killed his 1400 millimeter gunfighter.
Oh, that's right.
He found one of them at Killer Planes also.
Oh, that's cool. Replaced it, and he got a radio on the Amazon store.
Right.
Awesome sauce.
And before Wesley cuts me out of here, Wesley, I want to tell you how much we really appreciate the work you did to get us all in here tonight.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for having me, of course, and I'm proud to do it for these guys. You know, they've been supporting us really hard since the beginning, so it's really good to be here.
Well, we thank you a lot.
Thanks.
I thank Dennis. Thank you for that, man, and for
and
real.
Wesley, we got to get you out here somewhere.
Yeah.
Or I'm gonna have to come to you.
I'm trying, guys. You know, I still have a full-time job on the other side of this, so you know, I'm trying to make it everywhere I can. I can tell you, I'll be at Joe Knoll for sure next year. I'm going to try and make it up to what's it called, Neffy next year. I probably won't bring any airplanes, but I'll probably just fly up there. Rent a room from Ryan.
Well, you can come fly my jump.
There you go. So
yeah, man, you can fly my stuff, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. So you know, and anybody that is making it to the Jolly Good this year, you'll get to see.
What was your impression of Neffy, Mr. Farley? There's somebody waiting.
Hey, Dennis, Mike wants to know what your impression was of Neffy.
Of the AMA and the whole place.
It was the first time I'd been to a big field like that. Got creepers here.
Photobomb.
She couldn't stand not getting on camera. It's
That's all right.
One of them deals with Paige.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You miss her.
We love the family.
Neffy was great. It was the first, what I would say, really big flying I'd been to, but the facilities are amazing.
Yeah.
The runway's so big. Most of my Warbird stuff, I actually could have took off and landed crossways on that center section and not use the ends of the runway.
Yeah.
And the
now, did you make it to the museum?
Was amazing. Oh yeah.
Okay.
We spent a couple hours. One day the wind blew so bad.
Yeah. That's awesome. I'm so glad you made it. And honestly, that's a pretty low key event.
It is.
Some events are crazy, but that one's just it's so chill. There's still enough people that you get all you need or want in the way of camaraderie. And
get to see a lot of stuff that you don't have or have never seen before.
How tight knit was that place? I mean, You got the Timber brothers and the father and the sons there. You got a
Right.
bunch of folks who know each other, who have met and hung out and flew at that event in years previous.
I'm trying to think of his name.
What's he fly?
The day you were, he had some jets and some warbirds, but it was the day that you were packing up, and he come in and got your autograph and took a picture with you. The older fellow.
Boots Whirligig.
Boots Whirligig, right. I didn't recognize him until
Mike and I made the 4S F-16 the year, or no, 2 years before. He made it to 6S, and I maidened it this summer too. I don't know if you were there for that.
I wasn't there for that.
Yeah, I maidened that same jet twice, which is usually impossible to do unless you're a liar. But yeah, I maidened it on 4S. I remember he gave me his radio, and it was like, I was like, no. And we're flying stuff we got and we brought and everything, and he brings me, and not to pick on him, but he brings me the 4S F-16, the throws, the radio, it's completely jacked. And I'm just like, no way. Fix this. Well, what should I do? I was like, what the book says. Just start with that. And then I'll fly it for you. But right now you're completely out of whack here. Your neutrals are like, level these off. Do that stuff. And he went back and he dialed it in, man. And then he brought it, and that thing flew perfect. Then ironically, 2 years later, I maidened it again on 6S.
But meeting him was kind of like you was talking about me and you meeting in Dallas. I didn't know who he was by name, but as soon as he said who he was on the chats, then it was like meeting an old friend, you know.
Isn't that something? Mm-hmm. And then a lot of great folks and repeat guests of the event. You'll always see Pete Foss and his wife Carolyn. They've got the golden retrievers.
Right, we were right next to Pete with our shade shelter and visited with them a lot. They're
super nice people. They go to a lot of events. They RV a lot, and at Jet Jam, Carolyn what would you say, cans herself. Canned her jam for Jet Jam that all the pilots get. It's crazy.
In fact, I think she had some left over there at Neffy.
I think she might have, and I think I still have some. The kids ate it up last year. I think I usually get a couple jars because the kids like it so much. But fantastic, Dennis. Wesley, what is going on here? Well, we better get it done. Dennis Farley, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming by. I could keep you on forever, but man, we are looking at 3 hours and people are fading. So we're going to get to it.
That's why he left me to last. He didn't want me to run off all the good folks.
Oh, come on. Hilarious. Oh, Dennis, thanks, man. Thanks to all your people. And
all right. Good night, everybody.
Thanks for all your support, Dennis. Thank you, man.
All right. I'll talk to you in a couple of days.
All right. Talk to you later, Dennis.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thanks, Wes.
Oh, man. What a good show tonight. I told you I had to be here, Mike.
Yep.
This is All-Star Roundup. I'm telling you. This is just all these people know each other in the chat, talk to each other, goof with each other.
All right.
Wesley. Okay, cool. Wesley's talking all soft, like to the guests and stuff in the background, and it reminds me of the dudes at golf.
Yeah.
Dennis Farley's getting ready to pile drive the FMS 0 into the pavement, and there it goes. No reset button on this simulator.
Oh, it did go into the water.
That's $300 that he'll never see again. Can't respawn on that one, can you? Oh my goodness, so fun.
Are you guys at least having fun tonight?
Oh my gosh, ladies and gentlemen in the chat, these are definitely the usual suspects hanging on. Rick Baker, man, how are you? Have you been here before? Don't recognize your name, but thanks for coming by. This is episode 52, a year of weekly live streams about you know what, RC airplanes. We do a lot of flight videos, build videos, all that kind of stuff. And this is the place right here for good info and intel on new products arriving on the scene. You know what I mean. Craig Beeben, what is going on? Michael Honeychuck, Captain Photon in the house still. Awesome sauce. We got our next guest getting ready. Barry G, Dennis Farley. He isn't going anywhere. He's in here dropping emoji bombs. Dennis, see you at the next roundup. Papa Boozer's not in the house, but he is in the house. He's just back from like a long trip. Anthony wants a blue wrench. Lay it on him. He can have it. They're $50. I'm just kidding. Blue wrenches for everybody. And we are, whenever you are, Wes, we're ready. I am gonna, we're gonna say hello to the, you know what? No, wait just a minute. I'm gonna go upstairs, let Mike talk to the people for a minute and see what's in the fridge. Just because I'm dying
Good
over
call,
here.
dude.
You know what I'm saying.
You've earned a drink, dude.
Yeah, go ahead, Wesley. It's all right. I'll wait.
All right, everybody, you know him as GB Linden. Here he comes.
Hey,
Ladies and
everybody.
hey, GB
What's going
Linden in
on?
the house.
Hey, buddy, how's it going? Hey.
What's up, guys?
What is happening?
It's hot. It's August.
Yeah, and you're in like Washington, right?
Yeah, just kind of in between Seattle and Vancouver, BC. Probably closer to Vancouver, BC.
Feeling Minnesota, looking California.
Pretty much, dude.
We had a freak weather today. No wind,
Yeah, it was
no
wild.
humidity, little
Wow.
warm side, but man, we don't get that like
Did
once
you
a
fly?
year.
Yes,
And it was
Did you guys
beautiful.
fly today?
yes, it was awesome.
Good. What'd you fly?
The MiG-17, a
Oh,
bunch.
yeah.
Yeah, and the FMS A-10. And I flew a couple hot 70C packs, which really woke everything up. Mike flew the
Nice.
Yak 130.
A6,
Bobby Committa,
yeah.
A6 Intruder.
Yeah.
Bobby Committa flew
A4.
a handful of things as well. He flew his Dynam Hellcat into
Everything.
everything,
Yeah,
and it
pinball
kept
machine.
on ticking. I mean, it
Wow.
was. He kept just stuff was falling off and just, you take it up again. Just that guy is so fun to watch.
So what 70C pack were you working with, man?
5500 roaring top.
Okay.
And so let's ladies and gentlemen, GB Linden, somebody please drop a link in the chat. I'd be fairly surprised if folks weren't already subbed to your channel, but let's do it. Get a link for GB Linden's YouTube channel in here, ladies and gentlemen. You've been doing some of the film work on John VHRC. So he's like some of the first flights on that MiG-17.
Yep.
And they're good, and that is a fun plane. The 5500
It's a nice
roaring
one.
tops. It is nice and it's big. I think that plane likes the nose weight. I'm curious if John went with book CG or if he moved it up a little bit. And I'm also curious.
He started with the book CG, started with the book everything, and then made a couple tweaks from there. But he basically went by that as his benchmark.
Nice. And that's a great point of reference for everybody too, because that's the thing, these guys, everybody, me included, want to see what folks are doing that are being successful. If somebody nails a flight, it's like, man, I kind of want to know where the battery is, and stuff like that. So and also the discerning eye gets a really good idea on what to prepare for in the way of behavior if you get a watch. So actually last night, knowing I was going to fly the MiG today, I watched all of John's videos.
Smart man.
Which you filmed.
Yep, all of them.
That's awesome. So you guys tag team. So he's got a channel you film for. Does he help you film on your stuff as well?
Yep, he's my camera guy. And what we do is we've got the same camera. but we just pop out the SD card in between flights, and it's really pretty seamless. It's my camera, but he's my camera guy. Does great work too on my channel, and I try and do the same on his, and there we go.
That's awesome. You got to have people. You really do.
You do.
Tonight wouldn't go the way it's going without Wesley working super hard on the back
Oh, yeah.
end.
We appreciate
Shout out
that.
to Wesley.
Man, for sure. Just a good bunch of people here, man. Love it. I'm going to, my video, I'm not going to be mean about it, but I definitely, none of it a deal breaker. I don't know if you've been listening to the show, but there was a laundry list of things that were kind of screwed up on my jet.
Really?
Yep. But I'm not mad. I'm disappointed. Like I'm so
Well, it's 2019. These things should be over with.
yeah.
I mean, for simple stuff.
Don't be in a hurry. I mean, it is some simple stuff. There's some things that I shouldn't have had to check for that were missing. But anyway, none of it's a deal breaker. I am so in love with how it flies and everything. It's like it can't do me wrong right now.
Yeah, and that wide stance, I really hadn't paid it because I haven't flown it. I
It's
really
awesome.
hadn't paid attention until last night how wide that thing was because we had a crosswind. I was flying my F-35 last night, ripping around, having some fun, and the low light golden hour stuff.
Yeah.
And the crosswind just kind of came out of nowhere during the middle of my flight that I posted earlier today. And
Nice.
and before we popped up John's, I'm like, okay, so how wide is that stance? And it was just like twice as wide, maybe 3 times as wide almost as my
Yeah.
my F-35. And he's like, oh man, that's not going to be a problem. And he was right. And you saw that nice slow pass with the brakes, the one that he uploaded
Yes.
today. And man, I was trying to be so stable when I had that thing going, and it turned out great. We have so much fun. We go out there just to have fun, and we try and capture that flavor. It's not quite like Blaz and Robert, where those guys are just fun top to bottom, but we try and make that work for us.
We want to see these things fly too. So I mean,
Yeah.
Everybody's got different personalities, but we're all trying to capture the same thing, which is the fun of these flights. GB Linden, you started your channel in what, 2012, 2011?
Yeah, I had like I started in actually 2007.
Okay.
Me just like when I was recovering from a car accident, like flexing my bicep, something completely ridiculous. It's still up there. I didn't want to delete it because for me it was just one of those things where kind of a milestone in my life where I was recovering, had my neck and back completely screwed up in a car accident. But I had a little bit of air show stuff, but really the RC stuff started about 2011, 2012, probably 2012. And it was just John and I going out with my F4F Wildcat. I'd been digging around with some micros and stuff, like my Hobby Zone Champ, my UMX P51, the original one, V1.
Yeah.
And then the V2 came out with the AS3X, and I did that unboxing. And really, from that point on, that's when my channel started to take off. I started getting subscribers, and people were telling me they liked what I was doing. And
Yeah.
I just kind of I was completely addicted to flying. But I
remember
a little bit of the YouTube bug at that point.
the YouTube bug is there, and then the more you do, the more infected you become, and the better you get. But I'm asking you this because I was kind of setting the stage a little. So me and Mike, September 2012 was the first upload, and so I remember watching GB Linden's videos because you were pretty good about you had this thing pretty hard too, like all of us, about just into the hobby. So like every time there was a new product, and really the only game in town then was Horizon. I'm not sure FMS was on my radar or they were making anything I wanted yet in 2012.
It was all Horizon for me, man. It was and Chuck T. Seeker would usually get it at first.
Yep.
His unboxings were phenomenal, but the flight videos just weren't what I thought they should be. So I tried. My unboxings were horrible back then.
But you would get the new products,
Yep.
and you would do your unboxings, and you get that son of a gun out there and fly it some.
Yes, I would. Yep.
And that was all. And we were going at. So I remember, I felt like we almost started our channels about the same time.
Very similar time. Yep.
Yeah, and you just have never quit.
No,
You've
man.
never let
I
up.
have that bug so bad. And
Your
it's not
channel's doing
stopping.
good. Your
Yeah,
channel's
yeah.
doing good. What do you got? About 25?
Just crossed 23, I think 200.
That's
and
awesome.
Over 13 million views. And,
But who's counting?
yeah, yeah.
No, congratulations, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I just try and have fun, really. At this point, I'm like, those numbers are so big, you can't even wrap your head around it.
It's sick, man. I don't even, you know what? We like I said, we started the channel at the same time, but we took a 5-year break. But our numbers are pretty crazy too, and they're so big I don't even look at them. But I want all these guys that have channels that are new.
Yeah.
Some of them might be discouraged. Some of them may be happy with the way things are going. But I want you to take a look at the long game.
100%, man.
GB Linden's been in the long game since 2011, and he's rocking it with 20 grand plus 23,000 subs, doing what he wants to do.
Yeah,
and not giving up.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is what's your motivation? Is your motivation to be a YouTuber and have fame, or do you want to just add value?
Yes.
I mean, really, when it comes down to it, if you add value, the rest is going to fall into place. Like,
that's exactly
very few people have actually seen my face on YouTube. I've just kind of been in the shadows, focused on the product, focused on delivering that value, and that's where it's been at for me. And I've had a few videos blow up nice and big, which really helped the subscriber base and helped fund my purchases on the channel.
Yeah, man. It helps you to hit that crazy order button sometimes.
It really does. It really does. And I recently started a YouTube store a few months ago, and that's been doing okay. So that's going to fund whatever my next purchase is.
What'd you say? What kind of store?
The Amazon store.
Yes. Awesome. So you said YouTube store. I was like, what am I missing? I've never heard of that.
I put that in the links to my YouTube videos.
Perfect. Yes.
It's awesome, man. And I had heard about it and everything, but I saw about 9 months ago, maybe 10, 11 months ago, you were talking about that. I'm like, well, maybe I can qualify for that.
Yeah.
I think I have enough views, have enough clout. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
So I applied for it, and I met the minimum threshold, and it's not a ton of money, but it's at least something to help make it so I stay independent and not have to worry about doing anything other than delivering the value that I try and deliver to my folks.
Yeah, that's a nice place to be. It's and some people have trouble delivering that honest take.
Yeah.
If it's provided. It's impossible for there not to be a slight bias when that is what goes on. But I think we're in a pretty magical place where we've figured out how to kind of work it out. Like we were company guys for 5 years. That was all that we did. But the planes are quality, man. And if you're having fun, they speak for themselves. And if it's about information and you know how to give it, it works out, man. It really does. And I think that it's great to finally see you after so long. Man. And you ought to, this live stream stuff is cool because
it's fun.
You've been doing YouTube videos for just as long as we have, and this was never on the radar. This live, never a thing that you could do to connect with your people.
Yeah, I tend to have a potty mouth, so I like to be able to edit things out if I have to.
Yeah.
And usually I'm pretty good, but man, sometimes I get too excited and I'm like, crap. I gotta, especially the unboxings where you got either the highest highs or the lowest lows. I know sometimes I get pretty much high or low and you can hear it in my voice. I can't really hide my thoughts right
Yeah.
now, which
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't have a good poker face or a good poker voice. I'm like, if this thing sucks or it's dented to hell, I'm gonna say it. And
Yeah.
if someone's pissed off that I say that, which happens a lot because we got a lot of fanboys in the hobby, let's be honest.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna lay it down how it is. I don't know any other way. Even when I receive a plane, if it's really bad, I'll tell the vendor, dude, I give you the option. I'm either gonna just lay into this or I won't upload it. It's up to you.
Yeah. No, that's good, man. And you know, folks want to know. Folks want to know. And you know what's so funny? I've said some of this before on these shows where we were so busy making videos. We learned YouTube by mistake, you know, just by vicariously, just by doing it, you know.
Oh yeah.
Never studied it. But when things changed for us about a year ago, this is a year of weekly shows tonight, but we still weren't really gone all the way a year ago. But when things settled down for us where we didn't have a quota to make and it was just us, I actually had time to kind of dive in and study some stuff. And then lately, like researching cameras and lights and other things to help make things better. And I'm watching these videos and I'm going to apply this to airplanes and shopping and figuring out what to buy next. Like we always are pining over the next one.
Always.
So the example is a camera video. I love the guys who give it to me straight. It's the pros and the cons. Give people, you don't have to sell them. We're not selling snake oil. You lay it out, you show them what you get, you tell them, I mean, what you got, and let the folks decide what they want to do. I'm going to lay it out on this Hobby King MiG-17 that I had some problems.
Man, what kind of stuff did you have problems with? I'm really curious.
Well, I had a elevator servo dead on arrival.
No
manual, no pilot. They didn't put screws in the freaking retract to the wing, but put the cover over it. There's the screws that hold those servo plates to the wing. They're kind of short. And here's what's important about that. The servos to those control surfaces are screwed to that plate. So if the plate is not screwed to the wing, you see where that can be a trouble on a jet that's pushing 100 miles an hour, right?
Yeah, it's not slow. It's not slow jet at all.
It's awesome.
Yeah, dude.
And then I had a inner gear door that was like curly. They're supposed to be flat.
Yeah.
Really, that's it. I'm sure I'll think of another one. But none of it's a deal breaker because I knew it flew good just by watching y'all's videos.
Oh, yeah.
And then being a MiG-17, I think everybody who's had a chance to fly the little 64 millimeter MiG-15 knows that, wow, this is like the Wildcat of jets. Like it's got that mid fuselage wing placement. This should fly really good and they look cool. So it's like I couldn't resist when this MiG-17 came out, and I started petitioning the company right away. And things move slow, as you probably know when you're working with a company or trying to get on their radar. So I bought this one because I wasn't going to wait for an answer because I just wanted to do it.
You got to get it right away, otherwise, especially for what we do, to be able to get the return on investment.
For sure.
I think that's one of the things that a lot of people don't understand is when we buy these things, we're usually in the red. You're
not totally in the red, man. You'll never make it back.
Yeah, we're not making money. Maybe 3 years down the line, if the product stays around for quite a while, we might break even. But at the same time, I mean, we're doing this for fun.
Exactly.
It's never to make money. We're not like Cody Co or PewDiePie or any of those big YouTubers. Right. We're never going to make money. This is never going to be our full-time gig. It's
just cool to keep it. The cool thing is to keep it going. That's really what we all aim for here. You're not gonna retire off of this one.
Never. It's not going to happen. Even
I would
when you have-
learn. I would learn how to play Fortnite if I was trying to make money on YouTube or something.
Even when you have the huge videos, like I've got several with millions of views, you're still not making that much money off that. I think a lot of people don't understand a lot of where the YouTubers is they get these big product deals and things like that. I never have my face on video. That stuff's not going to happen for me. I don't care. That's not what's ever motivated me. I really just want to buy stuff, tell people about it, what's up, kind of like what you're laying out with the MiG 17, your experience with that. And so people can make the best choice. One of the things that I found out over the years was, especially with the Horizon hobby stuff, most, like you said, when we started, that was the biggest game in town, really the only game in town. And even when I shredded something, a lot of people were like, okay, I know what to expect. I can hit that order button, prepare for that.
Yes.
And now I know what's up. And then I can have fun with it. If I make these little tweaks, little mods, or go with a heavier battery, the UMX B17 is the primary example.
Yeah.
That was before the bind and fly basic days. So it came with a battery, so it was the regular bind and fly when they had a little charger, USB charger, I think, and then this crappy pack that weighed about a third of what it needed to weigh.
Dude, totally.
So I went up, like on the maiden flight. A lot of you might remember this. A lot of you probably maybe even gave me crap for this in this video. I was pretty new in the scenario at that point, maybe 2013, 2014. But I took off, and it didn't have enough goose. It had no energy at all. So I let off the throttle, gave it some down, and then punched it, and was somehow able to save it. Like I still sucked at that point, but I instinctually figured that out. And then I got it up high and tried to trim it out. I had so much down elevator, it was ridiculous.
I think I saw that.
Yeah.
And you know what?
A lot of people saw that video. It did really well for me, actually. That's one of the few planes that actually paid off for me with YouTube revenue. Because it blew up. Now, the plane didn't stay around very long, probably because people saw that video. But those that did buy it and didn't crash it knew, okay, you get that big old battery from Hobby King, that 5500, or that Hyperion 5500. You get that adapter, move it all the way farther forward.
Yep.
And as long as it's a calm day, you can fly it nice, flat, and level. And it, oh my God, so scale, so great. I still have it in my closet and pull it out when there's a nice, calm day. It's a beautiful plane if it's done correctly.
That's exactly what's great about videos, and it's easy to forget how helpful they can be. We had to do that B-17, and I think you had done it already, and I saw that video.
I was pretty early on that one.
I knew already I had to do like loads of down trim or load the nose up because of your video. So whenever we can help somebody out, it's easy to forget because this is just kind of what we do. But like when you do that stuff, you save guys planes, you save their money. It's a tremendous amount of value, man, to share your experience. And there's not just one way to skin a cat. I think when we do it the way we all seem to do it, where we say what works for us, you build authority without really trying to. And it's just good stuff because it's here's the deal. None of us have to have these things, but we certainly feel like we do. And if somebody can come alongside you and help you be successful with it, it's awesome. Me and Mike saw early on, which is why we took it to video, because we had helped loads of guys learn how to fly at the field and either learn how to fly from zero or tame what they had and have success with it. And it was amazing to see a kid or a gentleman who the thing about flying is age has no meaning. It really,
guys.
it's how long 100%. Have you been flying and experience. But we'd see a kid or a gentleman just not have any success at all. And then one of us would come alongside of him, help him dial in his throws, to have him cool out a little bit, get his head out of the plane and think about 184.2% of situational awareness or whatever, and start getting his head out of it and give him some paces to run through, and
Oh yeah.
it would work. And
Dude,
it was like,
the
man,
setup is everything. The setup, 100%. Even if you're a good flyer or have the potential to be, if you're not set up correctly, your CG's off, your throws are ridiculously high or ridiculously low, you're not going to have success. Period.
it's amazing too that, and never be afraid to give advice if you approach it correctly. It's just like
Yeah.
when there's problems with these planes. I think there's a way to tell people, manufacturers, companies, vendors, what's wrong without making it a shit fest on social.
Absolutely.
There's a way to do it even on social where it's respectful. And the same thing can happen if you see like a gentleman flyer, a guy with age on him who's on his second one. We have a guy at our field tonight he's built this L39 twice. It's balsa. It's awesome.
Oh.
But he's got a prop pusher on it. So there's a lot of weight in the back. And he's had the same wreck twice where at the bottom of a loop, he's snap rolling it. He's losing the plane. And I talked to him tonight, and you don't pick on people. You just try to tell them what works for you. So I was like, you've got to limit the throw on your elevator. You're snap rolling at the bottom of your loop trying to pull out. This has happened to you twice. So next time when you get it back, first of all, just get the foam when it motion because you're already thinking about it and it's going to be better.
Yeah. That plane is awesome, guys.
But lessen your throw. You've already got all this in this. Even if you're balanced right to fly, you still have all this mass at the back that once you've loosed your inertia is going to not help you at the bottom of the loop. If you double that with too much throw, you're in trouble. There's ways to tell people things without picking on them.
Yeah, that's always the goal.
Same with the vendors.
Yeah, well, just think like your work mode, right? Like for me, I do corporate marketing, have forever, and I try and like there's vendors, I've got different things to deal with. I try and take that same approach with vendors. Like for example, Zod, they do a lot of FPV wings and things. I've got those things all over my place. That they some of them have sent me, and I've given direct feedback, and they've taken it and utilized it on the next model. For example, I had the Zod Dart XL, and they realized there were some issues with the shipping, the packing, the way that they had the motor mounts on the back. There wasn't quite enough rigidity, so when you punch it, it would flex a little bit.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
the GT Talon had a very similar fuselage, but they made all the updates. If you watch my unboxing for the GT Talon, you'll see my reaction, like, holy crap, they actually listened to this and me and the other people saying, look, you need to do this, this, and this, because they were almost there. And I had a pre-production model. It didn't even have the nice finished foam on the Dart XL, but it was still a good plane. But there were still some things that needed to be worked through, and they figured it out on the Talon. The Talon is phenomenal.
That's cool. And that reminds me of something I wanted to let everybody know. So your channel is got loads of RC stuff.
Yeah.
A little bit different than maybe what some of us are shopping most of the time. So tell us a little bit about that. So you've done a bunch of like quads and other like flying vehicles. Have you done any surface stuff as well?
Yeah, I've got some RC cars, RC trucks. I was fortunate enough to have Banggood and GearBest. I don't really deal with them very much anymore because I don't really do the quads and stuff, but I got a really two awesome JBL Cheetahs. Man, they are so fast. They're 3S, and they just kill it. They absolutely rip. My girlfriend even loves driving one of them. Which
That's fun.
We're going out to RC, and in fact, one of the quads that I got too, she'll fly it, has like that altitude hold on it, so she can handle it a little bit, although she gets a little adventurous and sometimes crashes into a bush, but it makes it so it's not an instant crash.
Okay.
So I've had a pretty wide variety over the years of stuff. My biggest video is an RC flying car. It's a Sima X9. I think it's 3.5 million views last I checked.
Whoa.
Something like that. 3.4. Something like, yeah, crazy. Absolutely crazy.
It's crazy what videos do well. We took a 5-year break, but I still would look at analytics, and one of our best was always, and probably it's changed now because we've been back and making a lot of videos again. But dude, Dr. Expo, Mike's Dr. Expo video, not flying, not fancy, value,
Yeah.
value
I
giving.
didn't see that one, but that sounds like it's worth a watch.
Dude, Dr. Expo with Captain Mike telling folks what's up with Expo and why and kind of what and how to set it up. That video, loads of views. And if it's not evident from that kind of stuff how much, how well helpful videos can do, because there's a lack. Me and Mike kind of started the channel. We were thinking, the best products, the best manuals ever still are missing loads of help potential,
agree,
right?
man.
There's a load of attention on the table still could be had on helping figure out how to whittle down, how to get success out of the hobby for people. The best manual, man, the Hobby Zone Champ. Great plane, great starter plane.
Yeah.
Mike
I
still.
learned to fly on that thing. And that's,
Yep.
You guys came onto my radar. I'd already been flying it a little bit. But when I was looking at how my videos were compared to other people's, that's when I saw your RC. It was actually RC Training Command back then, right?
RC Air Training Command, 100%.
Yeah.
And that is this is that channel. I just totally changed the name. That's all.
Yep. No, I remember the videos. I think you were in a garage or something.
Yep.
And you were talking about that there was all that training stuff. I was like, man, these guys, at the time,
They're still
I thought,
up there.
Man, these guys have that together. And luckily, the Champ is still around. Like, I learned to fly on that plane.
A lot of folks have. It's those
great, dude.
That, we're flying other stuff at that time, but we did that training, those training videos, and I really think that was more Mike than me, because I just wanted to, fly the new faster thing or whatever.
Yeah.
But it was like, this is working. We like I said, trained some guys like in real life, and it's like, yeah, this is a good thing. And we really, on Mike's recommendation, man. I mean, he was really hot.
Well, there's
to do
a lot
the
of
training.
people that don't know what they're doing. They're just reacting.
100%.
When you any flight school you go to, there's a syllabus, and once you start your syllabus, and getting good at one. Okay.
Put them on for a minute.
Yeah, when you're getting good at one skill, a lot of folks they're not building their skill up to lead to the next step.
It's true.
I always just see people just get up and then react the whole time, and it's never any fun when they landed that plane perfectly, but it was an accident.
Yeah, and that happens. Like for me, with a lot of my UMX planes, that's what I started with. I started, as far as my history goes, I started with the Hobby Zone Champ. Took it up with the maiden flight. I was actually on I was on a date with a girl. First time, hung out, blah, 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 wrapped it up, and I saw this dude flying, I think it was a Fly Zone Albatross. And he was doing loops and stuff in a park. I said goodbye to her, whatever. Didn't even know if we're going to get a second date, but I was like enthralled by that RC plane. I said, where did you get that? And he's like, yeah, we went over to the Hobbytown USA. Or I got it at the Hobbytown USA. And I said, man, do you know what time that closes? And I was thinking it was about 5:30, 6 o'clock at night. And he said, they say it opens up 7. I thought, oh my God, where are they at? So I went over there. It was open till 7, and got in there, and I wanted that P-51. That P-51 looked great. It looked sexy. I didn't want some dorky plane, because ultimately I wanted to fly jets. I saw Pete from Banana Hobby and he wanted. I saw all his flight demos and all that. Thought maybe someday, if I ever do RC, I want to be able to fly jets. We had to have his first air show nearby. We had the Blue Angels every year, snowbirds, all that stuff, and that's what I wanted to do. So the guy at the counter said, if you try and fly that P-51 and not this Hobby Zone champ, you're gonna be back here the next day. If you're back here the next day at all, you may just give up. You're gonna be like, okay, I need that Hobby Zone champ. You will crash that P-51 Mustang here. So I bought the Hobby Zone champ that day. He talked me into it reluctantly, and I flew it. And okay, I could hang in there for a little bit. All right, I'm good enough. Now I want that P-51. Well, my maiden flight on that P-51, I nosed it right into the ground. Thankfully, it was in a field, so I didn't destroy it. But I realized, okay, yeah, I need some more stick time on that. Ended up getting the UMX T28. And I'm not sure if you guys ever saw my threads on the forums, which actually helped build up my channel quite a bit. Indirectly, I didn't really plan that, but I decided, okay, if I'm going to tell someone that I don't know how to fly, what would I do? So I kind of laid out, this should be your first plane, this should be your second plane, this should be your third plane, and after that, you can fly all these other ones. So it was the Hobby Zone Champ, UMX T28 Trojan, and then the P-51 and whatever. And those threads did really well for a while.
Those were the ones that we were recommending, actually.
Really?
Yes, right in that order. Right in that order. Because you were going from the 3-channel, and then your first 4-channel was the T28. And not only that, the landing gear was Tri-now.
Landing gear, so you were able to land a little hotter, do a little more fun stuff, and it was still a warbird.
Well, not only that, it was still, it felt way bigger than what it was.
Yeah, it did.
Man, that thing felt heavy. It felt like
it's great. I still fly it every once in a while. I got a little field right out by my apartment here, and I'll rip it every once in a while.
Oh, I still do, yeah. And the neat thing is, when I always tell people too, they always say, "No, I want this, I want that, I want this." You know, it's
well,
like
I was just as bad with that P-51. I didn't want to fly any dorky plane. And in between there, kind of what I was saying about the Champ and the P-51, I tried to fly my F-18 Banana Hobby one, and oh boy, that did not go well. So I took off on this field a little ways away from my place, and those houses came into view really quick. So I pulled back throttle, kind of like I did with the Hobby Zone Champ and my little MCX helicopter. You know, get in trouble, you pull back the throttle. Well, EDF jets, that does not work very well.
No, especially not an F-18, yeah.
Oh yeah, I saw that son of a bitch nose it in the ground, sheared off the wing, smashed the nose. I was just like, oh my god. Well, at least I didn't crash into someone's house. And then I popped the trunk of my car, threw it in the trunk of my car, didn't look at it for a week. I was sick. I was so sick to my stomach. But I was humbled. I needed to know that because I didn't want to have some dorky plane. But the reality is, you need to take some of that humble pie, eat some of that humble pie, and build that foundation. Because if you don't, you're not going to be able to fly. Like, it wasn't that long ago, I was messaging Ryan on Instagram, which 6S big boy EDF jet should I start with? And he told me the Bayhawk, BA Hawk.
Mm-hmm.
He said that should be a good one for you. Be careful, be smart, because they're not forgiving. No 6S EDF jet is forgiving, period. But that's probably the best place to start. And my maiden flight went really well. I was smart about it, deliberate. I'm surprised at how well it went, because some people had some rocky landings, went great, and then I got the e-flite Viper. That one went well. And as long as you're smart and strategic and build on your RC foundation, you're gonna be all right. You're gonna crash too. There's gonna be some very humbling moments, but if you're deliberate and smart, John has also helped me with a lot of setups throughout the field. Perfect example. That F-105, that Thunder Chief. So just before we maidened it, I had something just a little bit off, and he noticed it before we did that maiden. And he's like, "Oh yeah, let's do this little tweak here." Boom, we're good to go. I've only had successful flights with it, even though a lot of people I know crashed it because they rushed it or didn't have someone good to chuck it or weren't good at throwing it or whatever. But those fundamental things really, really make a big impact on your results. They really do.
You know, on all the flight schools too, and this is something I always tell people, but they don't grasp it. 80% of everything I learned throughout flight, whether it be on the side or on the what do you call it, general aviation, you know, civilian, slow flight. Man, we did about 80% in slow flight. That was all the training we've ever done was always in slow flight. And that was another bad tendency that folks had, was just to be full throttle the whole entire time.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, man, you can't do that. And so,
yeah,
Well,
that's
and your flight times are way longer.
That's
You have a
right.
lot more
I want
fun.
to tell a little story about today. There was a kid flying an apprentice, first time like not being in like beginner or intermediate mode, and he was doing a really good job, and he landed and almost hit the gates, but the approach looked pretty good.
Okay.
And I talked to him afterwards. And I told him the same stuff we were saying years ago on those lessons. Back to Mike on the slow flight. Mike was huge on slow flight in these training lessons we were doing, and he's totally right. And if you don't know how to land, and that's where you're messing
That's
your
it,
planes
man.
up, you need to do a bunch of mock passes. Don't land, but fly that plane as slow as you could. The kid flew forever, only tried to land once and about wrecked his plane. I was like, next time you go fly that plane, just shoot approaches. Don't land it, just fly slow. And we got a little crosswind at this point. I was like, it's crabbing a little bit. That's cool. Fly the crab, but get your head out of the plane. Be aware of that center line, and just fly the crab a bunch of times. Okay, now correct for the crab and see what your plane does. Now it's going to drift. Okay, get your shoulder down into the wind a little bit. Practice that stuff. Slow fly. Practice over and over and over that slow flight. That way now when it's time to land that thing, you're not surprised by it. Mike and I always said, treat this $99 champ like it costs $300. Don't be just happy it's home in one piece, but give yourself a flight path and a plan and execute it, and you'll be better off. So when you do fly the big money, you're not surprised. It's a language you already know.
Completely. Landing is everything. It's relatively easy to take off, relatively easy to keep it in air, but the landing, that's where the money's at. The make or break money, really. The money, if you have to spend money on a new plane or repair that landing gear. The only thing, my Hobby Zone Champ, I started flying that in 2011. I think it was like March or April 2011. The only thing that had to change on that thing was the tail feathers. I hit a fence post at my parents' property, bunch of woods. I was flying it way too tight of a spot. Smashed into that ripped off the tail feathers. Swapped that out at the local Hobbytown USA. Boom. It's still stock. The motor still turns. It's probably a little tired. Probably need to replace the motor, but everything else is stock. And I had tons of flights on that thing, man. And I crashed it quite a bit.
We were floored when we could land that with dead stick without inputs in the radio.
Yeah, and
that was amazing.
That was amazing. And
before safe.
I know it.
The Horizon video said you could. We called it the freak out method, and we hands off the stick. Mike did it, I think, first. Hands off the stick. That thing was like the perfect landing on a cul-de-sac.
It works.
We couldn't believe it. We were laughing our heads off.
Yeah,
because the freak out method, the thing landed by itself.
Yeah, I did most of my flights in a church parking lot.
Pre-AS3X.
Apartment. Yeah, that's where I did the maiden on my B-17 actually, and it's enough space. But as you know, when you're brand new even with a plane, just learning it, you need more space, right?
Yep.
I got to the point where, man, I could land that thing just on a little postage stamp. I landed it in a field for the most part in the very beginning because I was afraid to let concrete impact it. And it actually, I think that probably lent to its condition right now, honestly. So as I took those reps in and learned how to actually fly, that cushion in the grass paid big dividends. One thing I do want to say though, I'm not sure everyone knows, but Mike is an actual pilot. Didn't you fly real jets?
Yeah. I started, let's see, I was flying since I was 11. And Piper Cherokee was the first plane. And then after that, oh golly, it went to Cessna, then it went to Aquiras, and went to, man, you name it, pretty much been in it. Then went twin engine, then jets right up the way, yeah. So,
What
and then
jets?
I was,
what real jets have you flown? Like for us dudes that have only dreamed about doing that, have gone to air shows and seen these jets fly by at multiple 100 miles an hour. Which jets have you flown, bro?
okay, so let's see, Cessna 550, the CJ2, so the Cessna class, the 2s, the 3s. There was, my first jet experience was Hawker 600 class, and then Tornado with Panavia, backseat. We did fly a little bit, but I was in the tail on that one.
More the brains of the operation?
I wouldn't say that. I was pretty much just the navigator and also the radio comms, and
Gotcha.
so that was my there. I went in for music. That was it. So I just couldn't.
Music?
Yeah. I went in for bagpipes, and I just
Okay.
couldn't. Yeah, I couldn't stand back and just not, do something. I had to get in there for a little bit.
Yeah.
So after that, then I ended up getting into a CH-147 for a little bit for SARTEC, which is Search Air Rescue. And then after that, I was like, okay, I'm done. Let's call it quits. So, yeah.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah. But after that, I came back. Then I was flying Cessna 310s, and then LeBarons, King Air, and then it was pretty much couldn't afford it no more. And there was at that time, the pilots were a dime a dozen,
Okay.
and so I couldn't keep a living up. It was just flying. So that's when I decided I'll fly toys.
Well, and that's perfect because you and Ryan are a hell of a combination.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah.
Thanks, Brian.
Yeah.
We're gonna wrap it up in a minute, so get your last thoughts off. I'm gonna take the headphones back. I'm gonna get Wesley on
It's
here.
been a heck of a show.
Sorry to cut it short. I couldn't hear nothing for the last like 10 minutes.
We're gonna have to get you a splitter.
Mike hears better. Hey, who do I got? Wesley and GB?
Yeah, you got us both right now.
Yep.
Fantastic. I am going to wrap. We can keep on the Skype call maybe, but I do want to wrap this up for the guys holding out, man. 3 hours,
I mean,
30.
You guys that have been watching, holy crap, dude.
This has been one heck of a show.
For me to come on. I was just at John BH RC's party earlier, him and his wife. It was a group birthday party, so I couldn't miss that. So I'm glad you kept going so that way I could be on at the end.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
We
Chris,
appreciated you having being on here. Yeah.
man, for sure. GB Linden, thanks so much for all the support and all you do and everything. And if anybody ever gets down about how their growth is going, I'm just gonna say, man, you got to figure out what you're doing this for. It's a long game.
It is.
And if you want to make money, go flip a house. This ain't what this is about.
It's never gonna be about money, 100%.
It's cool
it's about
though.
Fun.
It's super fun, and I don't want to sound cliche because it's all about fun. I mean, it is, but hard work is awesome as well. And you're putting in the work.
Hard work.
Wesley's putting in the work. We're putting in the work, and there's a trade-off there, and you get what you give. And for it's just we're over the moon that the community supports it, and we're able to keep this crazy thing going. So with that, anybody who needs inspiration, man, look to all our buddies and bros in the room who are working it out. GB Linden, thanks so much. Wesley, newcomer doing it right, kicking ass, taking
Wesley's
names.
Appreciate
killing
it.
it.
I super appreciate his help for throwing this tonight because it
Good
really,
job, Wesley.
to me, was an all-star roundup that needed to happen, and really just a thank you to everybody who comes and does this with us every week, has channels, shares the passion, and is somehow inspired by our crazy RC life. I'm not going to hang it up right away, but Wesley, wrap it up with us, man. Hop in here.
Yeah, man. It's been a real pleasure being here tonight, guys. Controlling things from the back.
Can you hear me, buddy?
Yeah, I can hear you. Oh, hang on 1 second. I'm
We
sorry.
can't hear your audio, bro.
Hang on. Everybody
Yeah, he
else
must
can
be
hear
asleep.
us, but you can't.
Mitchell
There you go.
Farley's-
You guys can
He's
hear me
giving
now.
us the finger.
Okay,
The
we got him.
audience could
We
hear
got him
me,
now.
but you guys couldn't. I'm sorry. I had y'all muted where you couldn't hear me, and I forgot because I've been letting y'all talk for a little while. But it's
Yeah,
been a
man.
pleasure being here tonight, guys, running things from the background. I think this was one of the best RC shows ever right here. All 3 hours
think
and
so
30
too,
minutes
man.
of it. I mean, this was a heck of a show tonight.
Wow.
And I
Dude.
It's
mean,
incredible.
guys got to see people they talk to all the time on here. They get to put a face with the name. You know, you can't beat it.
You really
Right.
can't. It's going to make these other streams even funner because guys have, seen each other and
Yeah.
know their backstory a little bit. You know how some of us know each other. Just cool.
And in time, I'm sure we can get more and more guys on the shows as we get it. We get it dialed in. I mean, heck, considering where we were 2 months ago, can you believe the shows we're having now?
No, I
It's
cannot.
crazy, guys.
I mean,
I cannot. And by the way, anyone here still, we got another live stream for you tomorrow, 8 o'clock on the Mary
that's
Geezer
right.
YouTube
If you
channel.
didn't get enough tonight, don't forget you can come by and watch the A4 Skyhawk being unboxed.
A4, guys.
We'll make sure that we quit this live stream right before your show
Right.
tomorrow.
We'll be done getting guests on by then. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna have Brian back again tomorrow as we're unboxing it. I'm gonna have GB back in tomorrow as long as he's available. Talk about it because both of those guys have flown the airplane. I think RC Jet
Awesome
Dude's gonna
Jet,
pop in, talk to everybody
Nice.
for a little bit. So it'll be a fun time, guys.
Can't wait.
If you're still in here, thank you so much. I know that the stream has kind of dropped off, but it's 1 o'clock in the morning for us guys over here in the Eastern time.
So I can't
For
I
sure.
can't see the chat. Who's in there? Like who are the like right now? Who are
Okay,
the normal
cool.
beats.
Yeah, the normal guys and Rick Baker, who I've not seen, but thanks for hanging out. Fred, Mud Bud, Chris Jackson, Mitchell Farley, John Graham, John Barnsley, Victor Shamulus, of course,
Victor. I love
S-
Victor.
San Diego Ute fan. Yes, this is still going. Barry G.
God, you guys are awesome.
Adam Hampton just showed up. RC Fly
Adam!
Mike.
I love Adam.
We got 37 folks in here still, man.
Yeah.
I think half of them are asleep, but man, we got
It'll be a
37.
heck of a replay. Let's put it that way.
Oh my
You're
God.
gonna have to break this thing up
John's
5
gonna
times.
watch it tomorrow. He's
Michael
still out He's
Honeychuck.
probably gonna go pretty late, but he's gonna watch it on the replay tomorrow.
Yeah.
Nice. You can break it up, man. This is like a Netflix binge. You can work it out.
This is one heck of a show. It's been jam packed though, Ryan kind of had the idea. I guess it was last week. Let's get a bunch of guys on, and I was like, all right. And I went around and just blew up everybody. I was like, I'll do it. It'll be fun.
Yes.
It's been fun in the lead up to this too.
Right.
Like the guys behind that don't know what's going on behind the scenes. It was hilarious.
Right.
I was at work. We were doing this little YouTube chat in preparation for
My
this.
phone has
And it was
exploded
awesome.
all week long.
Yeah.
And imagine putting
Dude.
Ricky the Photon Dexter in
Oh
a
my
private
God.
message where he can really go crazy.
Dude. It's been it's been flying that chat.
Oh my
Like
God.
I've
It
missed
has.
half of it. Just crazy. And last night I spent putting together the MiG and just holy cool.
Yeah.
Holy cool.
And I mean, I've been working on this thing. I mean, I don't know if you've seen this yet.
What is that? I can't see it. I'm looking at my
This
phone.
is the storage,
Storage.
but this thing is 113 inches. I don't know if you can actually see it. Real quick,
That's what she said.
I mean, look at how big this plane really is. I'm going to step away for a second.
Yeah, I see it, dude.
It's a monster,
This is the
dude.
90
110
millimeter
inches.
F-18 here.
Dude.
And it's smaller than one wing.
Wow.
That thing's going to be so fun, dude.
So,
That unboxing that
just
you
for
did was
size
awesome.
comparisons. You guys have had the Toss and Boss planes before. Well, it's a little small compared to it.
And the F-18's big.
Yeah, that's
So,
no slouch.
anyway,
Wow.
that is going to be one heck of an airplane.
That is awesome.
It is huge.
When are you getting a made in that one, dude?
I gotta have it done by the end of the month for Jolly Good. So we're flying it at the Jolly Good fly-in. So I haven't even actually started building it, other than putting the wings on it tonight, just to have it in the background. So
Do you have the power system yet?
the motor is not here yet. They were on back order. I've got everything here except for the motor.
Nice.
So
Michael Honeychuck wants to know what power plant you've been gonna use, but it's the one that's
it's the
recommended
recommended
by Motion.
motor right from Motion RC. Yeah, I can't remember the
So
size
it's on the
right
side.
off of it, but it is the exact
Sure.
same motor. Everything going in this airplane is going to be
Grant
exactly
Chambers.
like they wanted it
Sorry.
on the. It's okay. It's everything going into it is exactly the same as what's going from the recommended list. So guys that go for the recommended list, when they buy one, they're going to know exactly what to expect. So
And if they're gonna spec it out themselves, then you got the specs that you can match. You know, if for whatever reason you don't want to use that motor that's designed to be a bolt-on fit, why wouldn't you?
right.
But you can at least match KV and size and those kinds
And,
of
and I'd
things.
kind of like to do another one of these torches. I know that's crazy, but another one in gas. So we'll,
wow.
we'll
That would
see
be
what
cool.
happens on that. So it just kind of depends how this first one goes. But I mean, the thing is just absolutely drop dead gorgeous if you actually get to see one in person. I mean, it's huge. I mean, if you can't tell, I know my screen's kind of small right now, but this thing is humongous. 9.5 feet.
Dude, the covering looked amazing with the detail on
Right.
it.
And I'll definitely be getting a lot more pictures up. I'll put them on the RC Pilot Lounge and everything as the build process goes. This is actually my dining room behind us, and we moved the kitchen table the dining room table into the kitchen so I could have a place to build the thing. It's so big. It doesn't fit in our normal
You gotta
hobby
do what
room.
you gotta do.
So
That's hilarious.
Anyway, I've had a great time tonight, guys. I think it's probably time to call this.
It's time.
Yeah, I think so.
It's
We
time.
could talk all night long, but
Yeah, we could.
Wesley, I'll sign us off.
all right, man, you do it.
Let's do this thing. This is how we roll. Ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you. We're here at a year, and what a crazy little trip it's been. I got to tell you, the funny part about doing a year weekly shows is I still don't know what I'm doing. So Wesley, thank you so much for your help.
Yep, I do appreciate it.
Thank you everybody for all your support. We are not done, and we're not going anywhere. Let's get out of here though for tonight. We're out of here in 5.
1.
Hanger rats
2.
forever. Michael, you don't know how it goes.
Yes, I do.
No, you
Just
don't.
keep going.
We're out of here in 5.
3. No.
Hanger rats forever. 3 you later. You're too good to be forgotten.
5.
Stick 'em monkey pants.